Hey, Laura. How's everybody doing?
You really?
We're here.
Yeah. So what's up?
Same old stuff, different time of day.
Hmm. I know. Tell me about it. Hello, Ed, TJ, Laura.
Yeah, we got a few people in here tonight.
Yeah.
A lot more than we had this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much fell asleep as you started. Yeah.
TJ giggles.
Yep.
TJ's off today. He was talking about going flying. Did you go fly, TJ? I told him he ought to try flying a drone for once instead of just flying a kite.
Yeah. Hmm. Here's TJ.
Hey,
Good
TJ.
evening.
Uh, yeah, definitely did not go out and fly today. It looked like it was gonna rain. It's still kind of cloudy out there, but I don't know. We didn't do a damn thing all day today.
Sounds like a great idea.
Uh,
Good for you.
we was just lazy SOBs today.
She's bugging me. She might want to go out. I don't know. But it's
Oh,
warm.
look at me. uh,
Yeah, what do you want? What?
hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Hello there.
uh,
Goofball.
Ed was flying kites today, I think.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna let her out. It's against my
No
better
worries.
judgment because she gets overheated out there, but
Yeah.
Uh, so what'd you do today, Dominic?
You're referring to yesterday because I've only just woken up. It's Sunday morning here.
Uh, That's right, Laura. Tell Ed. Tell Ed. I was first, man. I was first.
Yeah. According to this, you were first. Looking at the
Yeah.
chat. Yep.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, man. Well, here. I went and got um my poster. I picked it up yesterday.
Yeah.
No. So I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Well done.
Yeah. And then I can't I when I left the store, I stuck my
Yep.
key in the ignition, and my car wouldn't start for some crazy reason. So that kind of pissed me off for a while.
Yeah.
and
How did you fix the problem?
and then like I don't know what was going on. Like I had a couple people jump me off, and like I don't know because my car is brand new. It's a 2022 Kia Optima.
Mm-hmm.
So like I my win like I tried turn the ignition so I could roll my window up because it was about to rain. And
Mm.
then it started raining inside my car, and that pissed me off even more. And so I just let it sit for a while, and then after a while, my car just started randomly. I was like, "What the hell was that all about?" Like, and everything was getting wet inside my car. And one of my coworkers came out and handed me an umbrella, and so I could, kind of stop the rain from coming in.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, TJ, you know what I was thinking?
huh?
Maybe you would agree with this. Dominic should get one of them Swami hats to put on because he's living in tomorrow.
Yeah.
One of those like a rain hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Swami with the jewel on the front, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should have a crystal ball in front of you, you know.
Yeah. Predictive what the weather or what it's gonna do or predict like whatever.
Well, first day of spring here.
Oh, is it?
Yep. We observe it on the 1st of September.
What do you want?
David.
Good evening, David.
Go ahead.
Here comes
Good evening,
Justin.
Justin. What's up?
How's everybody's Labor Day so far? Anybody? Are you anybody grilling out? Are you grilling out, Justin? Earth to Justin. Maybe his mic's not working.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
He's got issues.
David. I think he's got it. I think he's got the kids, I think.
What was that?
Well, I think David's got the kids.
No,
I
I'm
think.
saying I thought I heard David say something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get his. I don't know.
Hello, Dominic.
Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing.
Okay, TJ, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. That's funny. Yeah, it looks like the rain's gonna start any minute.
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
TJ, listen, she's got something to tell you.
What?
Go on.
Bigger.
I didn't know you taught her how to talk giggles.
There we go.
I didn't, Justin did.
That's funny.
What?
Justin did that?
I did what?
Paul.
No, I think that was David's niece, I think.
Hello,
Hello.
Hands up. Go on.
David. I'm so glad you got the kids there this weekend.
They go home tomorrow.
Yeah, but
Yes.
they're there today.
Oh,
No.
TJ, technically Memorial Day is not on Monday, by the way.
No, it's
Or Labor Day.
Memorial Day
I
weekend.
mean, Labor Day.
Labor Day. Memorial Day was back in
Labor
May.
Day.
Yeah.
Whatever. You live there.
That's funny.
Well, that's why David's a little bit more up and about today because the kids are there. He's so excited.
No.
What's up, Edward? See, Laura's
What's her name?
Free.
Bree?
Child free.
Number 3. Yeah.
Oh,
Number
you
three.
just call it number 3.
Yeah, we're not allowed to use the names.
Well, that's kind of crazy, but okay, whatever.
It's to protect from someone.
Protect the innocent.
Well, the thing of it is if she goes into a store or something and somebody asks her name, she'd probably give her name.
No, she got in stores again, child free.
Yeah.
Confused the hell out of them, but no, it's just online. We're not allowed to use the names online.
Where's Laura?
Probably playing Fortnite.
Is that why Justin is being quiet?
No,
Probably.
not
Oh,
on Fortnite.
To be honest, you're probably better asking Justin how Laura is nowadays.
really?
Yeah, I never see her.
So Justin, how is Laura doing?
All right, I guess.
Yeah, Justin knows it.
I think what David's hinting at is you have now been appointed her personal assistant.
No, it's just because Justin plays Fortnite, and so does Tim and all them. They're the better ones to ask how Laura is, because that's where Laura always is. She's addicted. Oh, she's in the chat. He ain't a scary for. I had a mobile phone early.
You got a 3-day weekend, TJ?
No, I gotta work tomorrow and Monday. It kind of sucks,
Yeah,
but
I didn't think they were closed.
no.
A lot of places don't close on Labor Day. A lot of retail. Well, no retail really closes on Labor Day.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only places that are closed are like car dealerships and
Banks and doctor's
Yeah.
offices, shit like that.
yeah.
Yeah, all the retail stores usually stay open because they can be busy or they cannot be busy.
Well, the only two holidays they ever shut down for is Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's it.
So tough because
And that ain't more than one day, I'll tell you that.
his agreement and the flare
2
of
days in
sure.
this country.
we saw that when he partnered
They just
What's
closed
up, Mark?
the Rite Aid close to me, so.
and it was vintage jewelry and it was one
Yeah.
Herman,
In the
Justin,
UK,
David,
come on.
DJ.
Right.
Uh,
Mark,
So in the UK, stores only close on Christmas Day and Easter Sunday.
Edward, Laura.
are
Yeah.
they closed on Thanksgiving too?
We don't have
They
Thanksgiving.
don't, that's American holiday, TJ.
Uh,
It's strictly an American holiday. Actually, no, I think, don't the Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving? I don't know. I don't think they
Yes,
do.
they do, but different time.
different date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well, if-
Thanksgiving for when America didn't bother joining them.
Told you we should have listened to World War II. We should have took Canada too.
No.
Oh,
Should have listened to Patton.
Christmas Day and Easter Sunday are the 2 days every shop has to legally close.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're required to close?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, over here it's up to the retailer. They don't have to close for any day if they don't want to.
Well, our corner shop doesn't close on Christmas because they're not Catholic or
That's
Christian.
very authoritative.
Yeah, the only thing that stays open every day that never closes is gas stations. They don't ever
Yeah,
shut
there's a
down,
few.
even for
Yeah, there's a few
Christmas.
petrol stations that get allowed to open. A couple of like corner shops. Yeah, but your big stores, your Tesco's and stuff like that, they all have to close.
'Cause that's when the gas stations will actually sell out on a lot of their everyday home foods like bread and shit. Because that'd be the only place people can go to get a loaf of bread.
Yeah, and there's no buses on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day, but yet there is on Easter Sunday.
What the heck is Boxing Day?
But,
Like, I've always heard of it. Like,
26th of December,
Day after Christmas.
They
Yeah.
have
the
to-
day after Christmas.
they
TJ,
call it
but like, is
Boxing-
it? But like,
It's
does it actually? Does
they
it?
call
Does it?
it
act-
Boxing Day because you box the things back up you want to return.
It's
Yeah.
I thought it was something to do.
that's
with
not
like,
that's not the no, that's not the real reason, TJ. Because by Boxing Day, you're bored with what somebody's bought you for Christmas, and you play with a box.
box.
No, it's because you don't like what you got for Christmas and you start punching your relatives. So that's why they're boxing.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's
Yeah.
actually St. Stephen's Day.
It's
Yeah.
what?
Saint Stephen.
That's funny.
Yes.
Punch
Yeah.
your relatives. 'cause
But
you don't like
the
what they
real-
got you for
The
Christmas.
real reason it's called Boxing Day is because the day after Christmas Day, when all the servants were boxed up all the leftover foods from Christmas Day and stuff,
Yeah.
were able to have the day off, and they were given a little Christmas box.
Yeah.
I like Dominic's idea better.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, I
I
think
think-
that sounds better. Even though it's
Yeah.
not the truth, I think it sounds better.
Yeah, think about it, TJ. On Boxing Day, they used to go. The rich people used to go. Here, look, half-eaten chicken leg.
Uh,
You know the Christmas carol, Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen.
Yeah.
That was Boxing Day.
And if you're good enough to say Wenceslas, then I think you deserve a medal.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hated when I worked.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stevens.
Yeah.
When all laid round about, cold and crisp and even.
He can
Brightness on the moonlight night. That's a
Keep-
I'm
keep
going.
it crisp and even.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hated that about working at Walmart, man. The week after Christmas was always the worst. All the
Yeah.
returns.
Carols.
Yeah,
played-
I'm surprised that the 1st of September here, I reckon I'll be listening to Christmas carols sometime today.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy like how they start playing Christmas
No,
carols
no,
on the radio,
normally,
like way before, even like way before Christmas. Like they always
Yeah.
start. Like,
it's normally the 1st of December, but now over here, it's when Coca-Cola puts their little advert on, holidays are coming, and all the trucks coming over the hills.
Yeah.
And that's when you know it's officially Christmas. You put your decorations up, get your Christmas CDs out, and go.
Oh yeah, or like if you work retail, you got to listen to the same 30 Christmas songs over and over again all day.
yeah, it's like
You're,
oh my
you're pretty
God.
much ready to shoot yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, like
In the-
I've heard the song like
they-
10 times today.
In the Philippines, they put their Christmas decorations up now on the 1st of September.
I'll be back.
Paul. Hi, TJ.
Real.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Mark.
Laura,
On this morning, Paul, and you finished.
I'm not talking to you, Justin.
I had to leave. Sarah lost her bank card. We had to go look everywhere for it.
Oh,
Right.
no.
And we
On
still
that
didn't
note,
find it.
I'm going to leave you with Laura.
17 minutes he was on this morning.
Yeah.
So wait, what did you have to do, Justin? You left Sarah with what?
Got almost
Sarah,
Paul.
Sarah lost her bank card, so we spent like 2 hours trying to find it. Couldn't.
Oh,
we still
Lord.
haven't
Where
found
where was it at the end when you found
Guaranteed.
it?
it. I don't know. It's still wherever it's at.
Oh, Dusty.
In a wallet.
Kind of screwed us because we can't do nothing till Tuesday. So
Damn,
because
I'm sure it's somewhere
banks-
around.
the banks are closed until Tuesday. So
Check
Yeah.
all the slits in the wallet and see if it's not gone down in between the lining.
Maybe it might be in the car somewhere, like in between the seats or something.
we looked everywhere, multiple times.
It's not in her purse or anywhere.
Nope.
Coat
Maybe it might.
pocket.
Maybe it might be in the washing machine. But sometimes you know, like how like when you put things in
No,
your pocket.
she was out today and got a couple things at the store and then went back. She was going to go back and get the rest of her groceries for the weekend. And then she realized she couldn't find it. So
Well, maybe it might be at the
Go
store.
back to the store and
Jody. What's up, Jody?
yeah, we did that. We went
Yeah.
back to the store and all that, and then nothing.
Oh,
So
Hmm.
that's pretty much screwed till Tuesday. So
You check the shopping bag.
yep.
well, then maybe you'll find it by the end of the evening.
Better still, check the fridge. See if she put it in the fridge along with the shopping.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, here it is, right here in the refrigerator. How the heck did that get in there?
Up, Jody. Because we have two different banks, let's see. And if you want to do a money transfer from her account, it takes like 3 fucking days. So
Jeez.
that doesn't help.
What?
They
Takes-
don't. Her,
Takes about
no,
5 seconds online for me to transfer.
not her. She has a very weird account.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's yeah, her account's very weird. I can do it on mine, but yeah, the bank that she's with is not the best one.
Mind you, there's some weird banks opened up nowadays, like Starling and Revolut and whatever the hell the other one's called, Chase. Mind you, Chase is big in America, isn't it?
Yeah, Chase is massive here.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is a huge bank in the U.S.
We bank with Synovus. Synovus is pretty good.
Okay.
Most of our banks are either big national, international banks or building societies.
Yep. As the building societies that became banks.
Mm.
What's up, Captain Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
What do
Shut
you
up,
know?
Joe.
Just got back from a vaudeville show. All right.
That's
I
what
saw a video he posted. Thank God he didn't hit any moss in this video, but he was finding that same spot that he flew where that clubhouse was.
that's what they call football games now. Is it vaudeville?
Yeah.
I think that's what they call in David's team's football games at the moment. Anyway, mind you, they had the same score as City today. Only-
Mark, you're lucky he's not here listening.
Only City won 3-1 and Preston lost 3-1.
Mm.
I half expected him to be at Oxford, seeing as though it's not that far.
Mm-hmm.
Did he not
Yes.
go?
He has to get permission to go.
Oh, no.
Oh, we don't
What?
keep things separate. We just have 2 separate accounts with 2 different banks, just for because it's gives you more flexibility sometimes. Don't mean we don't have access to each other's account. What's up, Donald?
What's up, Donald?
I
What's up,
don't.
Don?
What's up?
Yeah, so nobody was on earlier this morning. Nobody came on the panel this morning. Everybody was just kind of hanging out in the chats. I guess everybody was like still sleeping or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I was sleeping.
I came to come on at 9:20 and he'd already finished.
Yeah. I was gonna hop on, but I don't know, my voice was kind of, it still is a little raspy a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And so I ordered some new stickers. They should be here maybe by next week, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
You know, they won't be working on Monday, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's tomorrow for me.
Tomorrow, to mañana,
Yeah,
mañana. Come on, TJ, get him fired up. Hey, there we go. Huh? You know, TJ is good for doing the laugh-in show. Laugh-in. TJ, you look a little tired today.
Yeah, I don't know. We've just kind of been lazy all day today. Didn't do a damn thing. We didn't get out of the
Sounds like a
house.
great idea.
We didn't go
Nothing wrong
nowhere.
with that, TJ. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I had my 8th different nurse today to change
Nice. Sounds
in, ele-
great.
in 11 days. I said, how many of you are there? She says, not enough.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to get up to Tractor Supply at the north end. They're going to take a look at my electric trimmer for out trimming.
Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with it?
The head is like, I struggle with it because I can't get it to, like, you're supposed to be able to tap it and the line's supposed to come out.
Wait, so you have a one of those riding lawnmowers?
No.
No, this
Something
is
about an
A
edger.
string trimmer, you know, the kind that's electric.
Whippersnipper.
Oh, he's
that-
talking about
like
something about weed whacker, TJ.
Yeah,
Weed whacker, yeah. Sorry,
I
I
thought you
had to
about, like, one of
translate
the-
that word. We call them whippersnippers.
whippers.
I thought you were talking about the thing that you trim the hedges with.
What,
or
Tractor
something.
Supply works on them, or they're just going to try to
That'll
find
be a
new
hedge
hedge?
trimmer.
Well, I got to take up the one I got. They're going to look at it and they'll suggest what I could do.
it's probably
Like,
just
what-
the lines
so-
inside.
so
that-
No, it's not the line. It's the damn, because, you know, when I push on it to try and get it to feed more line, it won't push. It won't turn. It just, it's all bound up.
Yeah. The line could just be.
the line's tangled up inside.
Did you
Yeah, I've
try
had
and
that
take
happen before.
Did you try and take the head off and take the thing apart and see like
Yeah.
what was going on?
Yeah, I've done that 2 or 3 times and it's just maddening.
Oh, huh.
At my age, TJ, you don't need the bullshit, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That's what happens with me, man. When things don't work, or like, when my car broke down, and when I said in the chat earlier this morning, I got all mad and angry.
Yep.
Your car broke down?
Yeah, my car wouldn't start. Like, it was so weird. Like, it was fine. Like on the way there because I picked up my poster. I printed off I picked up my my poster yesterday. I printed it off when I was at work, like the 25 by 30 poster of everybody in the drone community. So I printed it off, and then I picked it up on Friday yesterday. And then when I got there, everything was cool. And then like when I left the store and got back in my car wouldn't start for some weird reason. I stuck the key in the ignition and it wouldn't turn. And I just started, just lost my cool and getting all mad and angry because it started to rain and my window wouldn't roll up. And
Hey, Justin, can you watch the channel for me while I run up there and back?
Yeah. We'll do it.
Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. Because between you and David and Dominic, you should be able to wrangle in and put a noose on TJ, I'll be right back, gang. Well, I went
Did
right
it
back.
start now or what?
No, it's well, hopefully
It's still
it'll
sitting
start.
there?
But like I was able to because I had a couple people jump me off yesterday,
Who
and
jumped
then
you?
like a couple of my coworkers, and then there was a lady out there
Jump start.
who was working
jump started. I thought they were jumping you in the parking lot and riding.
No, I was hooking my cables up to their car. And so but then after a while everything started up, but my radio's not working in my car for some reason. So I got to take it to the dealership. I think my next day off is probably
Call and
sometime-
make an appointment. Don't just walk in there.
Yeah.
You need to call and make an appointment with them.
Go to Walmart, they sell batteries there.
Well, I think my battery's fine, I think, because like I told you earlier, my car's brand new. It's a 2022, so
He's only had it
Yeah,
a
it
few
don't
months.
mean anything. But your battery could still be under warranty too. Usually they
Yeah.
have depending on how much the battery costs, some have a 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year warranty, but it
He's
depends on
only
how
had
much.
that car a few months.
Yeah, but that battery could have been sitting for a year and a half though too.
Mm.
Who knows how long that car was sitting at the car lot too though.
Well, if it's only
it's been running pretty good. Like it runs fine, but until yesterday. But I mean, I don't know. Like it runs fine.
When they jump started it, did it turn back on immediately?
No, like I just kind of let it sit there for a little bit. Then after a while, it turned over. So I don't know what.
Could be something that's heating up, and it's just sitting cool.
I mean, I don't leave my light.
Alternator or the crank angle.
Like I make sure I turn my headlights off when I get out of my car and whatnot.
If you just leave your headlights on auto, you don't have to worry about that. They'll shut themselves off.
Yeah.
you got to make sure that the exterior light, the tailgate light. Oof.
But if they jumped you and it didn't help at all, then it's probably not the battery.
Yeah. Yeah, because my battery's fine and I didn't see any corrosion or anything on there. So I don't know, might be a starter or something. I don't know.
Probably could be the crank angle.
Did it click?
Yeah, it started clicking. Yeah.
No, it's an electrical problem.
That's what's it then? Start a motor solenoid mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that might be a solenoid.
Well, see, it's so hard to tell with these new cars because something could go out, like one little sensor could go out that has nothing to do with the car starting, but it affects, but it just it spider webs out and causes a bunch of fucking codes to trip.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. I've seen
Yeah.
cars where the car I had, um, that Chrysler 200 I had, if it got low on oil, dude, it would start tripping all kinds of fucking. It would trip everything but the oil light. It was really weird. But
Yeah,
it would cause all kinds of weird ass problems.
a lot of new cars don't have dipsticks.
Mm.
You have to go into the driver's menu on the media center to find out how much oil you've got in.
Yeah. I was
That's
trying
what
to
I'm saying
figure out.
is one little
I-
thing could break on the car and it cause a whole bunch of issues that don't have anything. Like once you figure out what it is, you're like, why the fuck did that cause this? Why is it making this trip? And you're like, it's confusing as shit.
Mind you, one of the things they've done now is when your oil level is low, your engine won't start. Check your oil.
Oh, that could be it too,
Yeah.
Jody. But the thing is he said it started up after it sat for a while. I don't
Yeah, as I
think
say, it could be the crank angle sensor.
the
It
one way
it
you'll know
needs to
your
cool down.
the one way you'll know your alternator went out is when you're driving down the road and all of a sudden everything goes dim and the car just shuts off because it's been running off the battery for the last 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, that would suck.
I had a
I was kind of
older
hoping that wouldn't happen when I was driving back. I was like, man, I hope my car doesn't die on the way home.
Well, one of my older cars, that's what happened. I was driving down the road and all of a sudden everything just started going really dim, the dash lights, everything, and all of a sudden the car just shut off. And what it was the alternator had went out and the car was just running off the battery power.
Yeah.
And once I was driving for about a half hour, then the battery power just it killed. Once it ran out of juice and there was nothing left, there was nothing for the car to run off of.
You can always tell when they go dim like that. It's because the battery runs on 12 volts, but the alternator produces 13.8 volts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he said they tried to jump it and it didn't do anything, so I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be the battery at that point, but because usually if it's well, I don't know. Some of these new cars too, technically you can't even jump start them now. Some of them don't even. They'll actually warn you not to do that.
Well, there's a difference between jump pump start.
I don't know if it's the blinker fluid because
And
both of my blinkers work.
Oh my God, TJ, blinker fluid's not a thing.
Yeah, blinker fluid.
Yeah.
It says piston return springs.
Speaking of blinker fluid, I got some blinker fluid right here.
You might be just low on windscreen washer fluid.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would not surprise me in a new car that'd be the cause of it not turning on.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me at all.
The blinker fluid.
Be something stupid like that. Fucking windshield wiper fluid's low.
What's the muffler bearing?
Yeah, you got to check that one too.
That's like that's the wait, hold on.
DJ, don't listen to any of them in the chat. They're not
There
trying to
isn't
help you.
anything. The muffler is on your exhaust. It doesn't have any bearings.
They're just trying to make you go into the parts store and look like an idiot.
I think I need a muffler bearing for my car. That's what they told me in the chat, so I'm here to get one.
Like
Mhm.
they used to do for mechanic apprentices over here. They tell them go to the stores and ask them for a long stand,
That,
and they used to go in and
never
says
heard that one.
for a long stand, so they just leave them there.
Yes, Joe.
But the thing is like even TJ's not the
Maybe.
type to work on his own car anyway, so he's gonna have to take it somewhere and get it diagnosed. So
Yeah, I
not
mean,
like
like,
he's
What
gonna
you
go
doing,
buy the
TJ?
parts.
the only thing, like when I used to have a truck, the only thing that I really did do was change the oil. That I could do was change the oil, and
And
that's
he-
pretty easy.
Right, but I'm saying you're not the type that's gonna rip an alternator out and replace it. So
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the point
no,
is
you
trying to
just- No, what you do is you go on YouTube and type in how to change an alternator. And
Oh
well,
yeah.
yeah, that'll fix it.
Could actually just
It is the alternator for sure.
It could be
I
a
don't,
loose
I don't
neck
know.
on the back of the
It could be many things, but I think my car is working now. But the only thing that's not working is the radio.
Everybody's trying to like diagnose it, but like I said, at the end of the day, TJ's not gonna work on it himself anyway. So
Yeah. Well,
And
the
it's
radio
still-
could be a fuse.
It's
It could be
still
a
on
loose connection. Because
He's gotta
mine used to
take
do
it.
that. I had to change the battery terminal.
and it's still under warranty, TJ. You've not had it that long.
Yeah.
well, it depends. Was it a used car when you bought it?
Bill.
Well, yeah.
guys. Yeah. Well, no, it was. Yeah, it was used. Like somebody else had owned it before me. So.
Well, it depends on what the dealership's
They've got to
extended
give
warranty policy they had on it.
and they got to give 3 months whether they like it or not.
Oh, no,
I don't-
not here. It could be as is.
Yeah, so it depends on what kind of if they offered him an extended warranty on it, or if they have one themselves that they give so many up to so many miles. Some dealerships do that. If
Yeah.
he's more likely to get it fixed from if he bought it from a big dealership than some little like rink-a-dink, like
If it-
hole in the wall dealership.
Only 2 years old, it might even still be under manufacturer's warranty.
Here you got a 3-day right of rescission, which is assumed 3 days. You could just bring it back, get your money back for it. But what they do in car dealerships is part of all that wonderful paperwork you sign away your right of rescission. Now, you're not technically supposed to be able to do that. So if anybody knows better, they could fight that. But if it's that bad that you're going to bring it back in 3 days for your money back, plus you're going to have to prove you didn't break it in those 3 days, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's a lemon law that protects people, even with used vehicles. If something ends up being fixed 3 times over the course of, I forget what it is, 90 days or whatever, or 6 months, if it's the same issue and you can show it's the same issue was fixed, if it takes the third time, you can take it back. That's called, that's the lemon law. 3 strikes and they're out.
CarMax actually has
They're
a
obviously
really good,
not fixing the problem.
CarMax actually has a really good warranty on their cars. They
But no.
give you up to 90 days or up to 10,000 miles. And then they also offer an additional warranty up to 150,000 miles on their cars. And it's only like a $250 deposit you pay. And they'll fix whatever.
Right, but they're not going to give you your money back. They're going to fix it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
good evening, Uncle Bill.
But you pay that in the front end because CarMax is one of the higher priced used car dealership lots out there. And that's why they deal with mostly later model cars. So they, because they're not gonna deal with something that's old and has a lot of miles on
Yeah, they won't even buy anything over 100,000 miles. And they'll
No,
only
it's always
warranty
it's
up
always
to
less.
150.
it. No, it's always less. TJ, what's your car doing?
It's like, well, okay. So here was the situation. So I went to go pick up my poster that I had printed off at work of like everybody in the drone community. I printed off a 24
PJ,
by.
skip that whole part. You went to work and picked the post
Can't
up.
do with a card,
Yeah.
Ginger.
Okay, why are you
And so,
telling me
when I
about
got
that? I
back-
asked you
when-
what your car's doing.
Yeah.
You know, not
so
what
when I-
you and your family and your business.
Yeah. Just wind it back a bit,
We
DJ.
can, we can get into your job is fucked up later. But right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
Right.
It
So
turned into
wind it
a
back a
speed
bit.
and it didn't start.
Car wouldn't
Yeah, it-
start.
Yeah, basically my car wouldn't start when I left the store. Like it wouldn't, like I stuck my key in the ignition, went to turn it. It was clicking, but it wouldn't turn over.
all right. So
Back.
you're hearing a clicking. Is that
Still
coming
sounds
from under the hood, from the
That
front of your
was
car?
solenoid to me.
Yeah, so I tried to like, I hooked it up to like other people's car to try to jump it. And nothing was happening.
Just hit
Like
the
it was-
Well, so
solenoid with a
if your
spanner.
if your battery, listen, if your battery has a dead cell in it and it's got that bad of a draw on it, sometimes it's very difficult to get it started. You may just have to leave it with that other person's car idling for quite some time before you even get a 9 volt or 11 or even 10 volt maybe charge, so your battery's actually helping the other battery start the car. Because if your battery's completely shot, then you're trying to start a car over jumper cables. All right, so they're going to get hot. It's not going to be a good connection. It just sounds like you have a severely dead battery. That's what it sounds like. Now, why did your battery go dead? That's what you got to figure out. You got to take that battery out, bring it to somebody that can put it on a battery tester, and see if it's okay. If it's okay, then you got to find out why did your battery die. Now, you either have a bad alternator, which a lot of times it is, or you've got a short. You've developed a short somewhere in your system. So as your car is sitting there, it's just draining the battery.
Well, he said the
They can actually
stereo's
tell
not
with
working.
the
His
same
radio's not working.
guys that have that good battery tester. They can also
Yeah.
put it on there and tell you if there's a drain going on in your system.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
he
like
said the
you know, like I said
stereo
earlier,
stopped
my
working in the
car's
car,
pretty
too.
brand new. It's a 2024 Kia Optima. So
Well, you just might have got. That doesn't mean. Well, it sounds to me like you got a bad battery, but that doesn't mean they could have sold it to you with a bad starter or a bad alternator. I mean, these things happen. You know.
yeah.
I mean, did you leave stuff on? Did you
No,
kill the battery yourself?
No, I like when I get out of my car, I make sure everything's off and whatnot.
And whatnot. Oh, it's the whatnot that gets you.
The whatnot.
But he said his
all right.
stereo stopped working too, though.
Yeah, my
Well, I
radio.
said that's how dead your battery is. You know, you're hearing clicking when you turn the key. Does your horn work? You don't know. When you put your can you put your headlights on and hit the horn? Does anything happen?
He drove it
Oh,
home because he got it started in the end.
You ended up getting it started. Have your battery tested.
Should I go try it
Have
and then come back and tell you what happened?
You don't know. They could have put a bad battery in it from the factory. It shit happens. You know, it's just not very common, but nothing's perfect. No assembly line's 100% perfect. You know, they could have dropped the fucking battery when they put it in your car. Who the hell knows? But have your battery checked and have your electrical system checked, because that's obviously a sign. If you got no juice at start, but then it ran. Once you got it started, it ran just fine. If it ran just fine, then your car is producing juice because you were able to run your car.
Yeah.
You know, and another way to test that out is put your high beams on, put your radio on, put your wipers. Does your radio work once the car's running?
No, like it wasn't working. Like I was pushing buttons and stuff.
Not producing enough juice then.
I was holding the power button to try to make it come on, but it wasn't coming on.
It's a short somewhere then.
Those things have, you got computers.
That could be a fuse.
You got a power. You got a body control module. You got a power control module. You might have a bad module from the factory. That's going to be under warranty. They'll take care of that.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, at the end of the day, TJ ain't working on it himself, so he's gonna have to take it to a garage anyway.
No, it's a 24. Did you buy it new?
Yeah.
No,
Well, no, I think it was.
It's
I think it was
22.
used.
You
Yeah, I
think
thought you
it's
said it was
used
a
and it's a 24?
No,
No,
it's
I meant
22.
it's a 20. I meant 22. It's a 2022.
All right, so yeah, well, it's not new, but that's still new enough. Jesus Christ! And that when you transfer, what is it, Kia? When you transfer, now they have a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, but when you transfer it, it becomes a 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty when it's transferred to you. So does it have less than 60,000 miles on it?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm 2
You
years
don't know.
old.
How do you not know these answers? It's your car, man. I don't understand.
Like, you should always know about where your car's at in mileage. If they ask you, you should be like, yeah, it's around 60,000, but I'm not sure the change.
Right, that Kia, that warranty's transferable, but it drops to 560 if you do that. Did you buy it from a person or from a dealer?
From a dealer.
It should be some sort of dealer warranty then.
Well,
A backstreet dealer or a proper Kia dealer?
Well, first problem you did was you bought a Kia.
Yeah, there's the problem.
It could be a starter, believe it or not.
Kias are good cars.
You could have a short in the starter. You got that fucking start stop for shit. And I just don't believe. I mean, they say it doesn't wear starters out. I don't believe them.
Yeah.
Oh, that start stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then the start stop too. Like the ones we had in our work trucks for the longest time, they had a where you could turn it off if you wanted. But then the thing was, if you turned it off, it would kill that battery that was under the driver's seat. And then if that battery died, the car wouldn't run. So it was like, why do you give the option to turn it off if you know it's going to kill the fucking battery?
You know what? Here's the thing. I know it's a 22. It might have been made late 21. The battery could be 3 years old. That's not a very long life for a battery. But don't forget, this is Florida. It's stupid hot here. Batteries sometimes just don't last. With all the heat and like that. So you could have just the battery just died young. My Hyundai, the battery was 4 years old when I got rid of it. It still had like 68, almost 70% life in it. I bought a new one and then traded the car in like 2 weeks later. A dumbass. It was running just fine, But anyway, it could just be the battery just gave up the ghost because of the heat, And again, start, stop. That puts a strain on the battery too.
A lot of batteries anyway.
Huh?
I said a lot of batteries have got 3-year warranties on them.
And that's it.
Here, if you go to the parts store, it really depends on how much you spend on a battery. Like if you buy their name brand store battery, usually you get like a 1 year. And then they'll sell you a name brand for 2 years, and then they'll have like some high-end battery that'll have like a 3-year warranty.
Sometimes there's even longer than that, depending how much money you want to spend. It's not even worth it.
It really goes by the price of the battery, yeah.
So you're basically buying a warranty when you pay more for the battery up front. If all things being equal, if it's the same size battery, same cold cranking and all that. But that could be all it is. Hey, it could be. It could be that your terminals could be fucking corroded. You might just need to tighten your terminals on your battery. So it could be something that simple.
Yeah,
like
Ed's
batteries.
saying, take it to AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts if we actually have an AutoZone like right up the road from the house.
Yes, well, sure, why not? And if you get stuck there, they'll jump you right there. So, or put the battery right in there for you. They'll even do that.
They'll check it all out first to see whether the battery's working or not. Which is
they will.
They'll tell you whether you need one.
They'll do a printout and show you. They won't just rip you off and sell you a battery. Those guys, they don't make any commission. They're not gonna. They're usually not douchebags in those stores because they're not making money anymore. Those guys are taking a wage.
They have to keep those printouts with the old batteries too. Like there's a whole process of exchanging.
Yeah, well, like I said, they'll give you a printout. They'll say, "Hey, look, your battery's only cranking 260, and it's supposed to be 600. get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's gone. But like I said, it could be very simple. Just some heating up and cooling down and heating up and cooling down. They're not quite tight enough. A little corrosion built up. You just need to clean the terminals and give it a shot. Could be that.
Well, when I looked under my hood yesterday, there wasn't any corrosion or anything on there.
On where?
Possible the battery could be new enough too.
On my
to
battery,
warranty,
like
so-
everything was clean.
Was it tight?
Yeah, it seemed tight to me.
Well, I was seemed tight. What? You looked at it and it looked tight, or did you actually try to move them?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of girls and they seem pretty tight, but they're not.
Oh God, here we go.
That's funny. That's funny.
Again, you
No,
got to start
like
with
when
the
I-
prefixes first.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I went to put my jumper cables on, nothing was like loose or anything.
Well, again, if it's just a little loose and it oxidizes, I mean, because they're using like steel or a hard metal instead of lead for the battery connectors, and I don't like that very much, to be honest. It makes it hard to jump in. But it could be that, and your alternator could have died. I mean, I don't know. You could have just ran your battery dead. But thing is, your car ran once it jumped, which means your alternator is at least producing enough power to run the car. Now, again, once you're running it for about 10, 15 minutes, put everything on, put everything electrical on, put your wipers on, put your high beams on, your radio.
Blow the horn, make sure my horn works.
Make sure, beep your horn while the motor's running. I mean, if your horn doesn't beep, that's one of those. That means your alternator is not producing enough juice. And just because and there's another thing too, don't forget.
Go get that. Go jump over there.
Just because your alternator is producing juice doesn't mean it's charging. That's what the regulators. You're gonna, a bad regulator.
There you go. Look.
Battery
Around.
won't charge, but it's sending power to your coil packs, so your engine runs.
Yeah.
It's what
If
they
you
call a
got-
regulator between your battery and the. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
If you get in your car, turn your lights on, and then try your ignition key and try and start it. If everything dims right down, then your battery's fucked.
Yeah, I'll try that once I get out here and check it out.
No, it could be that your battery's dead. You gotta have your battery tested. It could be dead, it could be really, really low and still be a good
Well,
battery.
yeah.
If it's low, like I said, it could be either a drain or that car might have had an accident that you don't know about, and you might have a short somewhere in there.
Yeah, true. You could have had bad earth between your alternator or your starter and the bodywork.
Yeah.
Well, anywhere
Could be the
in
earth
the
cable.
sensor, if there's a short anywhere in there, it's constantly draining your battery while it's sitting there parked.
Yeah.
But they could find. That's what those devices will tell you. Yeah, you got. There's going to be some. There's always some, because you got a clock inside there. You got stuff that always draws a little bit of energy. And if you leave a car sitting for 3 months without running it, your battery's going to be weak, because But it shouldn't happen in a day, or a week. That should take months to kill down a battery, especially the size of batteries they put in cars nowadays. Back in the day, 260 cranking amps was enough, or 300 cranking amps was enough. Now they're like 600, 800, 900, 1,000 cranking amps, and they're not even. The engines aren't even. Engines are actually smaller than they used to be. Displacement wise. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. But have your battery tested. Have your electrical. They'll also check your electrical system to make sure that there's a charge getting to your battery. Because, like I said, part of your alternator is not just producing power to run the engine. There's also a regulator that's built into it that charges your battery. It gives a regulated flow of about 14 volts, 14 point something volts to your battery to keep it charging all the time. And if the regulator's shot, your engine will run and everything will be great when the motor's running, but you're not charging your battery.
Yeah.
Gotcha? Got it?
Yeah.
Got
12
it.
volt will not charge a 12-volt battery.
Oh, 14.1 it'll be putting out. Should be around 14.
13.8.
Shut up, England. 13.8 is fine. High 13s, low 14s. It should be putting out more than 12.
Yeah.
So he's right. You know, but something new like that, because that is still new, you know. But anyway, a Kia, there should have been a warranty transferred over to you. You know, now you might find out that, I mean, that's not what kind of title is it? Was it a wreck?
I don't think so, no.
He doesn't
Come on
know
now,
that.
you bought the car.
Figure out how much mileage is on his car.
TJ.
I mean, like it was in one piece when I bought it. There wasn't any damage.
Oh,
It's a good start. It's a good start when it's all in one piece. It's
Hey,
a good
Bill, that
start.
was a loaded question. That was a loaded question, Bill.
He was talking about going and buying blinker fluid earlier.
Huh?
I know. Exhaust bearings.
TJ,
Yeah.
you actually got the title of the vehicle.
Yeah, it's in my glove box.
What the
Oh,
hell?
that's a great way to lose.
Hang
That's a
on.
great way to lose your car. You keep the title in the.
Don't put your title
Well,
on your car.
I think my mom actually has it, or I think
You think.
No, you know
You
what?
think.
Hold on here.
Like technically,
Hey, guys, I gotta take some aspirin. I'm getting a headache.
Yeah.
Join the
Don't
club.
keep it.
Yeah, I'll just go and get some.
All they gotta do is
I
sign
think
in
I
this
need more than aspirin. I need to
I
get
think I
drunk.
have it right here. Let's see. Oh,
don't show it on camera, TJ.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, 2022 Kia.
Now this isn't your registration. This is your title you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So the car's paid for.
It says certificate of title.
Yeah,
that's-
well, of course.
Doesn't say salvage title, right? Or reconstructed title.
Yeah, it just
Salvage,
says-
reconstructed. Huh?
It just says certificate of title.
No, that's on the top. Read it in the description. There's words. What's the odometer? What's it say for what's the odometer?
Don't ask him awkward questions.
Who bought this? Who bought this
Asking
car?
what
You did?
Wait, this is my identification card.
How much was this car? You don't know? You got to ask your mom.
No, I have it somewhere.
He just went in and went, "Can I have this?"
It was to replace his last one. That
I
guy.
mean, if it was super cheap, it's probably a wreck. Probably
I think it was 17. Yeah, 17,000.
Oh, then that's about right. I guess that's a pretty good deal, actually.
It replaced the one that the insurance company wrote off when that guy went into him.
How'd you pay off a $17,000 car in 2 years? Less than 2 years.
I had well, my mom helped me out a little bit, and then I put some money in there as well. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not had it for years. TJ, you've only had that about 4
I'm
or 5.
ignoring you, Laura.
Yeah, I haven't had it. I haven't had it long.
They pay you good at that liquor store.
I know. Well, no, we don't have a liquor. It's just we just sell beer and wine. We don't have a liquor store.
He got an
All right.
he got an insurance payout bill from the car that got written off by the insurance company when that guy hit him about 4 or 5 months ago.
No, I understand that. Well, but to get a check, that car would have either had to been mostly paid off or partly paid. Because he came up with 17 grand, and I don't even know if that's the total. Is that what you paid for the car? Because if it is, then you had tax and tag transfer and all this other shit. Plus, you bought it from a dealer, so they probably put $1,100 on top of that for dealer fees at least.
Yeah.
My kitty cat starts bleeding.
Depends on how much the insurance gave him for his own car.
Puppy.
What did it say your odometer was when you bought on the title?
Let's see. Where does it say odometer on here?
Mileage.
Mileage, ODO.
Let's see.
Doesn't have the mileage on our titles. Our logbooks.
Hey, Mark, we've got a good storm heading our way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've got an Amazon storm warning for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's raining here
Right.
already.
Yeah, did you?
An Amazon storm warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon are going to storm through.
Amazon give a notification of storm warnings.
Oh, your Alexa.
My Alexa, yeah.
I was thinking, why the hell's Amazon warning you? Just open this box, just gets dumped on your doorstep. You open it up and lightning comes out of it. Bzzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the bet this one goes round us and I'm going to get pissed?
Jody said just to make it easy for you, TJ, just go get a bicycle.
I don't care what Liverpool.
I got a bicycle.
TJ, get a unicycle. You've got one wheel to concern about then.
Yeah, then you've
Yeah, it does, Drake, because they're trying to figure out whether it would be under its transferable warranty with Kia.
Right.
That's what Bill was asking.
Does it start now?
It's
Yeah,
a
I
2-year-old
hope so.
car.
I hope it does. I hope it does.
Is
I
it
hope
gonna have
it will.
6,000
I
miles?
hope it does.
Well, how many times have you run it since that problem? Since you jumped it?
Well, I haven't left the house all day today, so
Probably don't start.
The next question is, how long you had the car?
About
Months.
6 months.
Yeah, probably like 6 months.
It's been anywhere between 4 to 6 months since you got that car.
I don't think it's been 6 months.
Okay, so apparently you can't read any of the words on the title. You're not.
Well,
you're not
no,
helping.
I was trying to. No,
Just
okay,
walk out
so-
to the car and turn it on and see how many
Okay,
miles.
so
it-
it's got when I got it, it had 12,000 miles on it.
That's
Oh, that
really
should
low.
Still be
Well,
well
it was
under
only
warranty.
18 months old when he bought it.
Well, okay,
Well,
wait, hold
well,
on.
at least. I mean, he says a 22. A 22 could have been sold in the middle of 21. You understand that, right? They come out before the year. This truck is a 16, but it was manufactured in December of 15.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so under limited warranty information, it says 10 years, 100,000 miles, powertrain, and then
I don't think that car was pre-owned, TJ.
yeah, it was a pre-owned vehicle.
Could have been
Could have been a demo.
It was 18
It could
months
have
old when he
been a
bought it.
demo.
Could have
Even
been a
18
demo.
months. That's really low miles. You don't understand. That's nothing.
Yeah, you're probably
Yes.
not even over 20,000 right now.
I had my car for 3 years and only did 7,500 miles in
Yeah,
it.
well, we live in a country bigger than Rhode Island. You know, here.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
Yeah, I know, but
wait, no,
people
no,
don't
it's,
have. You,
it's
he's
not
in
not an
Florida.
optimized.
Florida is
We
Yeah,
average 12 to 15,000 miles a year here. That's our average.
Florida is full of retired people. If it was a retiree, he probably just went to the shops and back in it, and that was it.
Okay, you're
Probably.
selling them a car now? It's owned by a little old lady just went to church on Sunday.
Exactly.
No, the model's a Forte, not a Optima.
You don't even know what model car you're driving.
Well, no, like I said Optima, but then I was like, oh wait, no.
An
it's
Optima is a
Forte.
bigger car than a Forte.
Yeah, it's a Kia Forte. I don't know why I said Optima.
Did you
Also
count how
about
many wheels it's got?
about $10,000-$15,000 less money new. But anyway, what the? It
Yeah,
doesn't.
you just gotta take
So
it
it
to
has
the
low
dealer.
miles. Are you sure that's not a salvage title?
No, it says certified pre-owned vehicle, limited warranty.
Okay.
Well, then
TJ,
you
do
just
you
need to
live far
take it to
from
the
Bill?
dealer.
That's a plus.
Yeah, bring it back to that dealer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so and then when I got it, the current odometer reading was 25,273.
Where'd you say 12,000 a minute ago?
Yeah, you did.
What the fuck are you
Well,
reading?
no, because like when I
Oh,
was,
so I had
when I was
25,000 miles.
Hey,
on it.
Bill,
Right.
Bill, that's the title. That's the title number.
All right. Well, 25 is a little on the high side, actually. No, that's about right.
No, for
It's about
Huh?
right.
well, for
About
its,
right. Two,
it is a bit high, but
yeah, 2 years, 12 and a half a year. That's
Yeah.
about right.
Just take it back to the dealer.
well,
Call,
no,
make an
I
appointment.
know.
that's the mileage when he bought it, not what it is now.
Like
I
said,
understand
TJ,
that. And you
just-
keep saying 18 months because you keep assuming this car was sold in 2022. And I bet you it wasn't. If you got the 22s come out in mid to late 21.
What does it say the first date of registration is?
That's not going to say that on the title.
That was
You have to look that up.
Yeah, you just want to call and make an appointment with your dealership, TJ.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
easy.
They're not going to cover the battery though. I'll tell you that right now. You know, you'll be buying a new battery. That's the only negative. Before you do that, go to the auto store and have them test your battery.
Yeah.
Because if the dealer sells your battery, it's going to be $300 and something. So 300 and something. to
Oh
$400.
yeah, it's crazy, ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
get it from the dealer.
yeah. Well,
Now
that's
you could go to AutoZone and get a battery for like 80, 90 bucks that they'll charge you
Well,
$400
nah,
for.
not anymore.
More than
Probably
that. About
close
150.
to like 180. But still, it'll be half. It'll be about half. Maybe 180 instead of 350, 360.
I haven't bought a car battery in about 5 years.
Oh, I have. I'm not looking forward to replacing the one in the truck though. It's a bigger vehicle. It's a bigger battery. That little
Yeah, no
battery
doubt.
there. I mean, you don't want to get a shit battery either that you got to worry about in a year.
No,
Like I said, it's very hot down here.
we
You know what I mean?
replaced the battery on the BMW about 18 months ago, and that was 185 quid. I don't
Yeah, that'd
like
be like-
it well with them. They have the battery in the boot, so it
Yeah.
has a massive long cable that goes from the boot to the starter motor.
Yeah,
With
same here.
An ampage drop on that. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Plus, to jumpstart it, it's got two separate contacts under the bonnet to jumpstart it from instead of the battery.
You know
Exactly.
that your auto stop was it working?
When what?
Huh?
Your auto start and stop, was it working?
When you stopped
Yeah,
at traffic
yeah.
lights, did the engine turn off?
Yeah, like when I left the house yesterday, it was working fine.
Right.
No. You know what I'm talking about? When you go to a light and you sit there, does your engine shut off and then start back up when you put your foot on the gas?
I don't. No, it just constantly runs. Like,
All right, you probably need a battery. When your auto starts working, that means your battery's falling below 70%. That's something I learned. Mine wasn't working, and some guy told me I had to have my car reprogrammed. And then the dealer said, "I don't know who the hell told you that. That just means your battery's below a certain percentage, and the car automatically turns off auto start stop. It's built into the programming. It won't do auto start stop unless your battery's cranking amps is above a certain percentage of new."
Did your car have 2 batteries?
That is always assuming it has got auto start stop.
Now, Forte's doesn't have 2 batteries. You understand what I'm saying? So in other words, if you have a 400, that's small, 400, 500, whatever. Say 500, but you're only getting 380 out of it. It still start the car just fine. It'll run just fine. Everything works just fine, but it will turn off auto start stop because it's below a certain level.
Hmm.
And that's a sign that I didn't know that. I thought there was something wrong with that. That's why I bought a new battery. It was because the auto start stop. I would turn it off every time I got in the car. The first thing I do is turn it off, but it stopped working altogether for a while. But that battery, of course, was 4 years old when I got rid of it. So, you know, but it was fine. But it was like I think it was 68% at that point, and and the guy told the truth, because when they replaced the battery, it started working again. So, and I let the dealer put it in, and I paid too much money because he gave me a couple of free services, saved me a couple $100. He's a pretty good guy. I forget what he did, but he didn't even charge me for it, even though it wasn't covered, which was pretty neat, because I didn't buy it from them. I think they gave me a free service, even though I didn't buy it from them, and they don't have to do that. And he did that. I said, fine, I'll buy the battery from you, because he saved me more than the difference of me going to buy a battery somewhere else. And I didn't feel like going and buying it somewhere. So, you know, I'm already sitting here. Go ahead, put it in, you know, because he saved me money, you know. But that's how I know a dealer will fucking charge you $300 and something to install a fucking battery, you know, in your car, and you can go buy one for 200 or less. Oh,
Welcome back, Paul.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Welcome back.
Hey, Uncle Bill, how you doing?
hi, Paul.
How much money you spend, Paul?
Not a dime. I went all the way up there, went into the store. Oh, the person that you want to talk to was off on dinner leave.
No.
Oh, God.
Dinner leave.
Yeah, he gets an hour off for dinner at Tractor Supply.
Dinner break.
Yeah.
What he's going to say, he got a whole week off to go and have a dinner.
Yeah.
So I didn't spend any money, but that's just as well, you know, what the hell. It's an old man thing, I think. I just can't figure out how to work it, because it just doesn't want to do what I want it to do when I want it to do it.
Wackadoo.
Yep.
How
Exactly. Yeah.
can you on dinner break when it's like nearly 6 o'clock at night?
Well,
Yeah.
he's a retailer.
Yeah. Dinner.
They rotate it.
Yeah. Dinner's usually between 6 and 8 over here. So,
Yeah, but 6 o'clock usually shut.
oh, they might open late. You know, there aren't places that do open late.
Yeah, they're open till 10.
Nice.
Oh,
So there's probably a supper break in there as well.
yeah.
His break is based on his shift, not what time you go home to eat dinner.
That's right.
And on a holiday weekend as well, they're open till 10.
Yeah. That's good.
Most retail outlets here don't go by any holidays.
Most retail outlets here are closed by 6 o'clock.
No, we've got many of them that open till 10 and
Some
11.
of them will open until 8. The only time they open till 10 is just before Christmas.
Well, we
When
have a lot.
do
we
they
have a lot
do
of
the
big
24-hour
box stores
trading as well?
Are open 24.
Some do, some don't, but a lot of stores since COVID have stopped it.
It's
Yeah.
only major supermarkets will do 24 hours.
No, we don't have that anymore. That was killed off at COVID.
Yeah, that same
11 p.m. is the latest here.
They're all closed now, midnight to 12. Midnight till 6.
And the
Oh,
grog
that's-
shops don't.
Oh, that's
The grog shops close at 5:30. So if you need grog, you're in trouble.
Well,
Yeah.
even our
Or as the shops at
our 24-hour supermarkets stop serving alcohol at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's an old law. They don't have to do that anymore.
They stopped serving
And
cigarettes.
ours are a separate shop where they can close that one down and everything else can continue, because you've got to have packaged alcohol, has to be sold in something that is completely completely separate from the supermarket.
An off license.
Yeah. What you would call an off license, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that problem. We can trust people to be able to buy alcohol and know what they're buying.
Mm.
No, it's got to have its own cash register as well.
But you can buy alcohol at any time of the day. Some nightclubs are now open till 6 a.m. But
Yeah,
they're
you
going
get
to ban
that.
smoking in beer gardens and bus shelters.
Yeah, not allowed to smoke anywhere here.
You're not allowed to smoke in any public building, in the grounds of any hospital.
Yeah. It's got to be 5 meters away.
Right. When you say the grounds of any hospital, I can guarantee you now, every hospital in the UK, there'll be a nurse or doctor outside with a patient smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, they'll be having a durry. No, it's 5 meters away from the exit here.
You can't
So
smoke near people, but you can fart wherever you want. That's not right.
yeah. You'll be, someone will have a dart or a durry and they'll be just lighting up. We can't use that other word.
You mean the FAG?
Yeah, can't use that anymore.
Well, we can over here. It's a fag.
Yeah, you can't light them up.
They don't count
What's up, Michael?
just smoking outside the door of the hospital as being outside the grounds. It's completely outside the grounds, which
No,
means
it's just
you
5
go all
meters
the way
outside
down
the
the
door. Yeah.
road to the main public highway.
Well, they're not enforcing it up down here, so
But I was in for 5 days, and I think I had 3 cigarettes. I didn't have any of my own.
Because you go out and there'll be someone else smoking, and they,
Oh, there was a guy in the ward went out for a cigarette, and he had roll-ups, and he gave me a roll-up to go out and have a cig with him. We've not had a roll-up for God knows how many years.
yeah, the guy in the bed next to me when I was in January, it's strange how many times he went to the toilet considering he couldn't pee. And that was a reason he was.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Toilet was actually in the toilet and bathroom was in the ward. There was only 4 beds in the ward.
It's our hospital. It's a communal, sort of like 12 beds to the toilets.
Yeah, when I was in there, it was 4. There were 4 beds, and you had to walk about 50 meters to the toilet.
I know.
It was sort of like a communal one.
I had to walk about 10 feet to go.
And it had the shower in there as well.
Yeah. Shower, toilet.
There was only one of them, so if you tried to have a shower at the same time, you had to wait.
There was one in every ward.
Yeah, you had to walk about 70 or 80 meters to get to the next one. Because on that
know what she
level,
looked like whether
there
I
were 2
waited or not.
toilets.
50-inch TV on a stand.
Yeah.
Hey, Dominic, it all depends on what she looked like, whether you wait or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Annoyingly, when I were in hospital, the 2 nurses that had to shower people, they looked like they'd been hit by a bus. They looked like males that had been hit by a bus. It was like,
never mind.
I'll have a strip wash, thanks.
That was more like Gladys Emanuel from Opening All Hours.
No, the ones on my ward were like, you want a shower? What you doing?
She also played.
No, you're all right.
I don't know if you watched Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah,
Nurse Gladys Emanuel also played a woman in that called Lily Blesser.
Yeah.
In Port Huron, you'll see partly sunny weather and can expect a high of 75 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 57 degrees.
I don't think I will. Definitely not sunny weather. It's dark. The moon's out.
No, it's sunny here, but it's bloody windy. Jeez.
It's
got
been,
fun.
it has been a bit breezy today, but it's been sunny all day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got
it's
the
sunny, but
thunderstorm
it's
heading
windy.
our way.
So
Oh, great.
what's the miles per hour on the wind?
I don't know what it is. It'd
I
be
don't know.
probably 40,
Yeah.
40 miles an hour.
Oh,
'Cause it's 70. We had it up in the 90s
Yeah.
on
TJ.
Thursday.
At the
Yeah, we had
moment,
it up in the
it's
90s.
11 gusting to 21 here.
TJ. It's
And
currently
14.
18 it's current 18 miles an hour.
18
Which
miles
based
an hour.
on your
About 30
based on
miles.
your
That's about 30
mileage.
kilometers.
Yeah, based on your mileage, that's about 52.
TJ, if your car, you should see if your car starts and take it to an auto parts place now.
Great, Michael, Jody.
While it's still open.
Yeah, I would.
Take it in while it's still
That's
open.
if it starts.
They'll take a look
I
at it.
wonder what time they close.
Well, I
Probably
wonder.
not.
Perhaps
wonder.
you should look on your
Well, the
phone
longer
and
you
see.
sit here, you're
Yeah.
not gonna know.
Yeah, just go and ring them up and find out.
Ask
You don't have
Alexa.
to ring up. He's got a phone. Hold on.
Okay.
Google it.
Yeah, send him a tweet.
Send them a tweet. Is it auto zone? Get in the zone. Auto zone.
They close at 9 o'clock.
No,
Take
it says 8.
Oh, you got
the auto
45
zone
minutes then.
closes at 9 o'clock.
They're like,
All right, well,
oh,
TJ, it's 6 now, so that works out pretty well.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go and then
Yeah, go and do it.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
in, yeah.
I'm gonna go check on my car. Make sure.
Go see if it's stuck.
Yeah,
Make sure
because
it's
you
still
don't
running.
want to be sitting alongside the road.
I know that would not be good. That would not be
suck.
good.
make sure
Yeah.
money in your bank.
All right. I'll see you guys
Well,
later then.
Okay.
That's
bye,
right, TJ.
Take
Yeah.
care. I'm amazed you didn't make arrangements before this, Bill.
Well, you should have went straight there once you got it running.
Right.
Yeah, but we're talking about TJ, aren't we?
Oh, you missed a whole ball of conversation earlier.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah, his car only had 12,000 miles on the clock when he got it, but then it turned out to have 25,000 on the clock.
When
Yeah,
you read
but
I had to
25,000
take
isn't
some
a
aspirin.
lot on a car here in this country. You know, some people put 25,000 miles on their car in 1 year.
You were surprised how much mileage goes on cars over here as well.
I'm surprised that it was only 18 months old. Most people wait at least 3 years before they get rid of a car.
Mm.
Yeah, but you don't know the reason why it was sold. Maybe the owner had passed away and they thought,
Yeah.
It's Florida, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's possible.
Keep saying it was 18 months old. It could have been 2 years old.
Yeah,
At
all
the
right.
end of a 2-year lease. You keep saying no because you bought it 6 months ago, and I keep telling you, in the
don't-
United States and
you don't
probably
get-
there too, the 22 model gets sold in 21, mid to
Yeah,
late
September
21.
or
the 22
October
models come out.
usually here.
yeah, same here.
No, we can tell when a car was sold because the registration number tells you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah,
Did
but
you
it-
get that
it-
from-
the
did you get that
registration
from-
doesn't,
did you
the
get that-
The
registration,
registration number stays with
Mark,
the
the
wife, never
registration,
changes.
They'll give you the
registration number
month.
does not follow the ownership of the vehicle.
Yes, it
No,
does.
but it
in
tells you
UK.
it tells you the
It
month
does
and
over
the
here.
year.
Right. Whoa.
Not here.
It does over here.
Over
Yeah,
here,
over
the
here too.
registration number stays with the car for its lifetime.
Unless you have a private number.
Yeah, you're talking about the VIN.
Yeah.
no,
No,
Talking
no,
about the
No,
the-
your number
the
plate.
registration number.
Oh,
the-
okay.
not
No,
here.
number plates
not here.
change
When you get a
here.
registration on a
Well,
car, you get a brand new number.
the Canadians
Yeah,
do
you
that.
don't hear.
The
get
Canadians,
the
I don't
number.
know if it's still, but it used to be, they get the car registered and they put a license plate on it and they'd sell it and it'd stay with the same license plate. in the
Yeah,
same
that's what
register?
happens over here.
It has the
No,
same
it changes over
plate
here.
all its life.
So when the car rolls off the production line,
Got a
it's
compliance
given a
plate
number
on it.
plate, and that's the year number plate is given. So if
That's
it
a
rolls
VIN
off in
number.
2022,
No,
That's
it's
the
not the
VIN
VIN
number,
number.
compliance
no, it
plate.
still has the VIN number,
It's the registration number.
the
And it's the
registration
number
number,
plate
it's number
that's on the
plate.
Oh,
back of
okay,
the
that's different
car.
then. We do things
Yeah.
differently over here.
Like,
Because you've got a number plate can change, but the VIN compliance plate always stays.
Yeah, well, your VIN over here still stays with your number plate as well. However, because you can get a private number plate, you can swap it out.
No, okay, interesting.
But
only
number plates
for-
over here are a big thing.
Yeah, VIN
only
numbers
for
over here.
the
No.
VIN doesn't
older
change.
number.
But the VIN doesn't. The VIN doesn't contain the manufacturer date. It just tells you what year,
And
what
on the
No,
model,
your
compliance
number plate
plate
does.
under the
what
VIN number,
model, what model year
Model
it is.
year. That's all
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah, but the what's it does.
on the compliance
the
plate they've
registration
got here,
number-
they
the
have that. They have the VIN number, the month and the year that it was.
Look, there's a tag right
Um,
inside the door that tells you when it was manufactured. By the way,
Yeah,
I mean all this
over here they
conversation.
do.
Yeah,
all this
but
conversation is
We
horseshit.
still
You just
ha- we
open
still-
you open the driver door and look at the pillar. There'll be there's a square tag in there, and it tells you the date of manufacture.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they do
They
here.
still have that over here, and it's in 7 different places on your car, because for ringing purposes. However, when the car comes off the production line, once it's complete, it is assigned a number plate for its life.
Okay, that's
Only
interesting.
when
Different
only
thing
when
here
it-
then.
only when it's sold. It may sit at the manufacturers for 6 months before it goes to a dealership.
Mm.
The only
Mhm.
It's the date of first registration, which is the day it's sold for the first time, is when it gets its registration number. And
Yeah.
if its registration number is SJ57 VRV, then that 57 tells you that it was manufactured or it was first registered in the second half of 2017.
Yeah.
You guys complicate things too much.
Well, no,
I
it's
mean,
simple.
Oh,
It
yeah.
works well.
Yeah, but the complication comes from being in different countries too.
But the other thing as well, if you get a number plate, so say like Mark just said, the SJ57, if you have SJ57 PNE, right? If you
Yeah.
buy yourself another private number plate, that PNE number plate you can sell on the market for a lot of money, just
Yeah.
because it says PNE or
Interesting
LSD.
offender.
And
Yeah, but that's an
I mean,
example.
here's something else that they're not taking into account. Every state is you register your car with the state.
the state.
So if I move, so you get a new registration when you move into a new state. It's got
In the-
nothing to do with the VIN plate, or the that identifies the actual manufacturer, where it was manufactured, the date it was manufactured, and then basically a serial number.
Yeah.
That's the VIN. The
Yeah,
actual
well, every car's got
registration is
a
what
VIN.
is
You got
the
VIN
registration
on the
is what you
compliance
vehicle
plate. Yeah,
identification
pay to the
number.
state every year to register your car to drive.
yeah.
We still have the VIN numbers. They still stay with the car.
The VIN number has to be on it legally. That's the vehicle identification number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And
that's on
that's
the
got the
plate
year-
with the
that's got the
serial
year
number as well.
manufactured.
Yeah. So say like I bought the car,
Your model year.
right? I buy the car, brand new. I change the number plate to my private number plate. When I sell the car, I deregister that VIN number from my private number plate, and I can either go back to the old one or put a different private number plate on it.
That's a lot of screwing
Right,
around.
right.
Bill.
You don't
you can
have
do that.
to. You don't have
can buy
to.
another
A lot of people do. Some people have their own
Why?
private number plates because they'll have their own name on it or something.
And
Right. Well, of course,
Our
when you sell your
BMW.
car, you keep the plate and you can transfer
Hey,
it to
brother.
another. Here, you have to if you can transfer it to another vehicle, if it's the same. If it's not, you can't transfer a car to a truck. But if you
Yeah.
can or a motorcycle to a car, for example. But you can transfer it to another vehicle. If you don't transfer it within a period of time, I don't know if it's 6, I forget what it is. You'll get a letter from them telling you to turn your plate in. And what happens is the next time you register, you get a new plate, you get a discount. they'll actually take money off it. At least that's what they do in Florida. You'll actually get a discount on your next plate that you purchase from them.
The thing is,
Oh,
what
yeah.
works for you
Yeah.
in a big
We
country,
do that.
you got to remember as well, the US is massive, right? So they're selling more cars. Over here, we're not selling that many cars. Yeah,
Many.
maybe 60 or 100,000 a year.
No, a
Maybe,
lot more than
maybe
that.
more.
We
I've
sell a
got-
million,
But-
million and a
More than
half
But
that.
the
a year.
point is, we're not selling as many as the US. So our
Yeah.
system works for a smaller number. Where
Well,
you
yeah,
guys
we
are selling them in the
understand that.
thousands and billions a day.
The only
Never
country
mind
that
a
sells
year.
more cars in the United States is China.
Hmm.
So, so that we understand that. But registration is not the same as, it doesn't really identify the car. The car's VIN is on your registration.
Yeah.
But but the registration is you're registering the car to your name.
Yeah.
Not-
That's
not
what
here.
I'm saying.
That you can drive it in the state legal, you have to pay your registration fee every year.
Well, you
Yeah,
don't.
ours is
You
registered to
pay
the
car
club.
tax, but you don't pay registration.
Yeah.
When
And
you
then
sell your
they issue you a plate with that.
car, when you sell your car, that registration number stays on the car normally.
It goes with it.
Yeah, same here.
That doesn't see, what the problem with that is? Then you could track down
Transfer of
previous owners.
registration.
Yeah,
No, you could track down previous owners like that. They don't like that here.
Yeah, but there's a
No, you
the
have
other
to
thing-
transfer the
right.
registration in the title of sale over here.
Yeah, we have what they call a logbook. Every car has a logbook, and it'll tell you how many owners it's had and what mileage
Yeah, we
it's done. And,
could look that up too.
yeah,
we
but it
can't
even tells
tell
you
you
who the
who it
owner
was.
is.
You gotta
And you can-
have a logbook in the car?
No, it's not.
no, you
not,
don't
not
keep it in
keep
the
it
car.
in the car. You get it with the car.
Well, you keep a log.
Yeah, but it's like a Carfax
No,
report.
It's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
All it is it tells you what the car is, what the registration number of it is, the details of what it's taxed as, the engine size, the VIN number. But other than that, it just tells you the owner or the registered keeper is, not necessarily the owner.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
registered
it's
proprietor.
similar to a Carfax report over here you'd get from a
Yeah.
dealer.
Yeah, you could look
It
that
will
up here
tell you.
too. But you
Yeah, it would
can't
tell you.
identify who owned it that way.
But the one good
Yeah,
about it is you can look up that registration number on a car checker and get its MOT history every see what it's failed an MOT on or whether it's passed every year. Or
Yeah,
what.
no, here when they look up the history of the car, they use the VIN number.
Yeah. Well, like with our registration as well, if you can see a registration at the side of the road, you can check it. It'll tell you if it's taxed, it'll tell you if it's MLT. It'll also tell you if it's been written off by an insurance company.
Yep.
And why it was written off.
Yeah, but here that's all attached to the VIN, not your registration number. Your registration means it was just registered to be put on the road, not actually manufactured.
Yeah, but
You,
what
you
I'm
can
saying
look
is
up and all those things you can find out from the VIN number.
from your
Whenever
yeah, but
you do a search right now to see the history of a vehicle, you can pay to have one done.
yeah, but
25
if I
bucks, whatever,
what I'm
20
saying is if I was stood at the
You
back
put it-
of
you
your
put in the
car right
VIN
now,
number. You
Bill?
put in the VIN number.
yeah, but if I was stood at the back of your car now with your number plate details, I couldn't find any information in Florida, right? But in the UK, I can, right? Everybody can.
Yeah.
It's open source, basically.
That's
Well,
illegal over here.
plate's just registered to me, and that's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all you
My
can, the
plate.
present owner is Bill.
Oh, it doesn't tell you who owns it.
well, I
just
mean, the police can
details
look
of
up
the
the
car.
license
Police
plate and
can
get
look
the
it up, yeah.
information, but
And
not
I've
the
had that
average
plate
person.
I've had that plate a long time. That plate's been on several vehicles.
I mean, the registration number on our BMW isn't its original registration number. It's a private plate. But
And what David's talking about, like private plates, that would be like having a custom plate over here, like
Yeah.
big balls or something on the
vanity
back
plate.
here.
well, no,
Yeah,
you can't have, you
vanity
can't have a
plate, yeah.
you can't make up your own plate. You've got to have an existing registration number, but it has to be older than your car.
Yeah.
So I
But
cannot put a newer
actually,
registration number
there
on
are-
the car. Or I
That's a
can put
lot
an
of
older
moving
one on.
around in my book.
Yeah, Mark, you can have a private number plate of your own. So if I wanted, I could have DAV 1D. Yeah, as my number
Yeah.
plate. It's
Well, you'd
probably
have to
already
buy
that's
that.
already all been sold. You have to buy it, right? And
Yeah.
then I have to register it to the car and to its VIN. But once I sell the car, then I can keep that plate. However, the number plate that came with it would go back on it.
Yeah, I know. I've still got the original number plates for the BMW in the house.
Bill,
Yeah.
that sounds like a lot of screwing around to me.
Well, it's not.
Originally, our BMW was an 05
You just,
plate.
over here,
But
you
the
just
one
walk
that's
into
on it at
any
the moment
Secretary
is an
of State's
03
office and
plate.
they
You
take
can't
care of it all.
transfer your plate to somebody else like that here.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Well, it depends on
You
what
gotta
state
either
you're in. Every
transfer
state's
yourself
different.
onto another vehicle, onto your next vehicle, or turn it back in.
But there's no like set rules across the board because every state does does it their own way to a certain
Yeah.
extent.
Hey, Justin, after listening to all of this, aren't you glad we won the war?
Yeah, but we got to take our number plates back from our tanks.
Well,
We
hold
gave
on.
them back.
Who's got the most plates here?
How you doing, Joe?
See, I got the
Hello,
motorcycle,
Joey.
I got the 2 cars, I got the boat trailer, I got the trailer in the backyard. That's 5. I got five plates right now.
We don't have to
Yeah.
put registration plates on the caravans or trailers. You put the same registration plate on,
That's on your car.
your car.
So if you had a caravan, you get a separate number plate made up that's the same as your car. You put it on the back of your caravan or your trailer, as you guys call them, or on back of our trailers that we.
It has to
That's
have
awesome.
the same registration number plate on it as the vehicle towing it.
Yeah.
You have the same plate?
Yeah.
Oh, our trailers
so
all
s-
have different plates.
So if somebody
No,
borrowed
different- I have
your
5 different
trailer,
plates.
They have to get a plate made up to their car.
To their car,
They
yeah.
Yeah.
borrow it. Yeah.
oh, like it's normal in the U.S.
Yeah.
So you see a household with 2 people in it, and they'll have fucking 5 vehicles.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon
Yeah.
to see in the U.S.
Well, I've got the motorbike, the car, and the motorhome.
It's like 20 people live there, and it's only 2 people.
Yeah.
Well, the motorhome has actually got an Irish number plate on it, not an English one, because it was registered in Ireland.
Yeah, it's getting a bit like that over here now, though. You see like old people's bungalows, and there's 6 cars on the drive. You're like, how the bloody hell
Hmm.
are they all living in there? And it's not; it's just a car enthusiast.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. I had teenagers when I was in Pennsylvania. I had 2 teenagers that could drive. So we had, and then I had a spare car because I had a motor route that I didn't want to destroy my primary car. So I had 5 vehicles registered and plated in my driveway at once.
Bryce says he has 5, 2 are custom.
They weren't trailers; those were cars. I mean, one was a pickup truck, but we didn't have a lot of money. I'd hate to pay for that shit now. Things have changed. Fortunately, registration is not very expensive. Isn't so bad in Florida. The cost of the plate is kind of high. It's like $280 or something.
Mm.
The registration is
That's
cheap.
Yeah, I
That's
think
just for
it
the
goes
plate.
by the weight of your vehicle, doesn't it?
Weight and value.
Yeah. Well, if a utility vehicle or a truck plate's different than a car plate. It's a little more money. And then the motorcycle's cheaper than that. And then the trailer's the cheapest of all.
Yeah.
I
See, our
paid-
registration then is this is why it's different because our registration is unique to the car and it's the same price no matter what. However, your road tax is what you guys are saying there is different to your vehicle. So if you've got a bigger gas guzzling car, you're going to pay more road tax than you are if you're
Yeah.
in a
And you've
car.
got ULEZ as well.
Don't even go
We
there.
don't have-
Hey,
we don't have
Bill,
road
I
tax.
don't
We don't
think,
have a-
I don't
In
think,
certain towns,
I don't
not
think
every
it's
town has
broken
that.
down by road tax. It's all just.
We don't have a road tax in Florida. Some
No.
states
It
do.
depends on what state you're in. Like I said, they're
Yeah,
all
some
different.
states do.
Like, here for my old vehicle, it was like 32 a year, or I could pay 64 for 2 years. It was just double the price.
Yeah. We won't go over that, ULEZ, Dominic, because it's there to make the air cleaner so you're not killing the people of the town. But
Yeah.
for £12 a day, you can still drive your gas guzzling car through there and kill the same people. You just got to pay to murder them now.
Well, now, like if you
Yeah.
live in a place like Dre does in California, oh my God, dude, between registration and getting your car smogged and all that,
Oh my
you're
God.
talking probably close to $1,000 a year.
Well,
Yeah.
Like crazy amounts.
About
But
here.
yeah, it's insane.
It's about $900 here.
Once a
Like
car
Dre said,
reaches, once a car
You got
reaches 3
four
years
different
old,
charges.
it has to have a Ministry of Transport test every year to prove that it's roadworthy, and that's like
Yeah.
£50 a year now for that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've seen people in Florida driving
$150
trucks
every
with
3 years we have to do it.
freaking
Well, yeah, my
floorboard
5
missing
plates
out of
don't
it.
even cost me $200 a year for all 5 of them.
Well, Dre said his 2004 Crossfire still costs him $180 per year for registration. Dude, I've seen people, like I said, I've seen people driving trucks in Florida with the damn floorboards rusted gone out in them.
Yeah.
See the damn road while you're driving down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that would fail its MOT here.
Yeah.
You'd
Well,
have to get it welded.
near Brands Hatch over here, the racing circuit,
Yeah.
the company that uses Brands Hatch to test cars. So if you did built your own car, you know, like a converter kit,
A kit car.
a kit car. You have to take it to this place to have it tested. And I saw a video the other month. This guy, he spent over £250,000 on this car and all the things and that. And the guy testing the car for the government, he set off and he just completely lost it, spun it, and tipped it. Oops. Nope, it's not roadworthy. It might have been, but it's not now.
Yeah, they don't check. Dude, I've seen people driving down the road without damn exhaust on their cars, and it's just
You get stopped for that over here.
You can fail an MOT test here for just having dirty brake fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even check your cars here.
Yeah. The best one is when you see the boy racers, you know, when they've had the cars lowered.
Yeah.
And the police pull them and they go, "You ain't going nowhere in that." Or the other good one that the police do is to get the torch lights out and shine them on the windows and go, "You see that tint? Gotta go."
Yeah.
Yeah, down here, there's no inspection, but if you end up in an accident or you cause a problem because you didn't take care of your brakes or you didn't take care of your tires, that's what you pay for it on the back end. You're going to be fined. You know, in other words, you don't prepay for it by having it inspected and being forced into take care of it. There's no inspection for it.
Yeah.
So of any kind, brakes, nothing.
Every year.
Our car insurance is so high.
Yeah, that has to be done every year once it gets 3 years old.
Yeah.
From brand new to 3 years old, it doesn't need an MOT. But after that, it has to have one every year.
Yeah. I love the car companies that go, "We'll give you a free
Until it's
MOT."
Until it's
it comes
40
with that
years
anyway.
Once it's
Unlike
40 years
Jersey,
old.
when I lived there, we had 2 stickers in the window. One was to inspect the car, you know, brakes, driveline, all that stuff. And the other was for smog. So you actually had two. You had 2 stickers in your window.
Yeah, the
Here
emissions,
we don't have any.
the emissions come under the MOT here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see cars coming from New York and they'll have like a fucking, looks like a NASCAR in their windshield. It's like the side of a NASCAR. Fucking all these stickers and shit they gotta have. It's like,
Oh,
Jesus.
bullshit. Any way to collect more money from you.
We
Oh,
don't
it is.
even have a car tax sticker on the window anymore now. It's all
digital.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. No stickers.
In fact, you can get done for having a air freshener dangling from your rear view
Yeah.
mirror because it obscures your view.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big thing in California, dude. You can't have like nothing for you hanging from your everywhere. You get pulled over. I don't think they give a shit here, honestly. Up, Tim.
Fucking thunderstorms going back.
Tim,
Hi, Tim.
Jody has a custom plate that says Drone U on it.
Tell you what, I'd hate to live in Dartford. Because if they want to come out of Kent, they're either going to get hit with a Dartford crossing, or they're going to get hit with a ULEZ charge, and then the congestion charge. And that's just to get off the driveway. Yeah, there was a guy really pissed off. The ULEZ camera was right on the edge of his driveway. So every time he reversed, and if he wanted to go into town where he didn't have to pay the ULEZ, because he had to reverse to turn off his drive, he got hit with a ULEZ charge because the camera would flash him.
Especially when they charge you, like you said, like in London, they charge you just to drive into London. Like, if the money's not actually doing anything to your vehicle, that's, to me, is just a big scam by the government.
Of course it's a scam, like I said.
Because, like, what is that money doing to keep your car from smogging up that area just because you're driving through it? Exactly.
All that he's doing is putting people off apparently driving into London. But it doesn't. People just pay it.
It's not like they're making you stop and put some fucking filter on your car or something saying, oh, yeah, this is helping the environment. Like, no, they're just charging you just to drive through there.
Yeah, they're charging you to kill Londoners.
But Manchester doesn't have that charge.
What's that, Mark?
Manchester doesn't have a ULEZ or a congestion charge.
Oh, they wanted it, but they kicked off, didn't they?
Yep.
And he backed down.
Yeah. It was our office that was actually trying to get it. This was doing the reports to get the congestion charges, and scrapped it.
Just a way of the government getting more money from you.
Mm-hmm.
The problem
like I said,
is not even the government over here. The ULEZ
you're paying something for nothing physical. You're just paying them money just to pay them.
But the ULEZ charge doesn't go to the government. It goes to the Mayor of London. It's got nothing to do with government. You still have to pay all the other road taxes and insurance and crap.
Mm.
Hey, Justin, I went by that new Costco which just opened up. Lord, the people there.
It's gonna,
it's been half of Mandeville.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna look super nice and everything, just because it's all brand new and everything. Yeah, you're gonna have a line out the damn, but around the.
Well, I didn't even go in. All I did was I did a video and a couple of hyperlapses to show all the people going crazy running around.
Dude, they do that for some They do that for some fast food places when they open. Like, you get a Chick-fil-A opening somewhere where they haven't had a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Good God, dude, it's already bad enough at Chick-fil-A on a normal day and on one that's been there for a long time.
Yeah, Marcus did the Chick-fil-A when it opened at where he lives in Idaho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some fast food places are just so popular that when they do decide to open in a location where they've never had one, dude, oh my God, the first week or two, it's insane trying to get it in there.
Yeah, in Wickford, where we used to live, they never had a McDonald's, and they're opening one up in October. Yeah. I reckon it's going to be chaos because it's not got a drive-through, got no parking, and it's in the middle of the bloody high street.
You know, McDonald's actually does some of the best research where they place a restaurant too. They do a lot of research.
Over here now, McDonald's are opening everywhere. They're not McDonald's themselves, it's the franchisees that are opening them.
Right, but McDonald's will do a bunch of, like, they'll actually do a lot of testing where they'll sit and count how many cars go by a certain intersection. They do a lot of research before they decide where to put a restaurant.
In Pitsea, where we are now, we've got a McDonald's on the other side of the road there, and they actually want to open another one on the opposite side of the road, and their excuse is that they want to make the one on the other side of the road for collection and delivery only. Yeah, so why do they need 40 tables? And then they want to open another one at the top of the road near the hospital.
1, 2.
Weirdest thing I ever saw was in North
We've
Carolina.
got 7 at the moment.
3.
There was 3 Subways within walking distance.
Yeah.
There was one in Walmart, one in the shopping center for Walmart, and one across the street in the other shopping center. Don't ask me why the fuck 3 people decided to open Subways that close to
we
each
got
other.
7 McDonald's.
That was nuts.
3 KFCs. 7 Subways.
But most companies will do like where you want to separate your stores by a certain mileage. That way you're not sucking business from one business or another. You're trying to capture that traffic for those areas. Like a lot of companies do that. McDonald's will, you know, just depending on how much traffic, how much customer base there is in a certain area, depends on how far apart their restaurants are going to be.
In Chelmsford, in Chelmsford down the road, we've got a company called Greg's. They open anywhere and everywhere, right? They actually open one 2 doors down from an existing store, and when they, when everybody was kicking off saying there's too many, he went, "Don't worry, it'll have its own trade."
Yeah, we've got 2 Greg's in Ashton shopping precinct.
Yeah,
That's like
we've got.
That was one of the downfalls of a lot of shopping malls over here. It wasn't just the online that everybody started shopping online, but it was the fact that they built too many malls too close to each other, and they were sucking business from each other to the point where they didn't have a big
In the Basildon, in the Basildon borough, which is what we're in, Pitsea, Wickford, Billericay, and Basildon, there's 14 Greg's.
Yeah.
But if you go to like Orlando or Tampa, man, the malls there are still thriving because they have the population to support it.
I think there's 5 for Manchester.
But when you got 3 cities touching each other, and each city only has like say 100,000 people, and you got 3 big ass malls, it's not enough people to support 3 different malls that close to each other. And that's why you see a lot of malls have went under over the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. They built too many of them way too close to each other, and there wasn't a big enough population to support them.
Yeah, well, what you call malls or shopping centres, they're actually they're building flats on top of them now down here.
Shopping centers are different than malls. Malls are indoors, whereas shopping centers are like where you go into a parking lot and there's a Walmart and a KFC and
no, we just call them
dollar store.
They're retail parks.
They're retail parks over here. Our shopping centers are what you call malls.
Yeah, that's what we call a shopping center. Would be an outdoor where you pull in a parking lot and there's 20 businesses all within a big, like U-shape buildings. And usually they're all connected for the most part.
No, not over here.
Somebody will build a shopping center with like 20 storefronts in like a U-shaped pattern, and then the companies will come in and rent those spots and fill them up.
No, over here the retail parks they're a free for all.
Yeah, as far as shopping malls kind of things, we've really only got the Arndale Centre in the centre of Manchester and the Trafford Centre. Everything
more than that.
Everything else is just a retail park.
Yeah. I know Preston's got 4 shopping malls or shopping centres. Basildon's got 1. Wickford's got 1. Billericay doesn't have one.
But even as fast paced as our area is growing, the mall still hasn't made a comeback. Shopping centers are fine. They still thrive. Like you can go into any of the shopping centers and there's still tons of people coming in and out of them and shopping all day long. But the mall still has not made a comeback, surprisingly, with the amount of people moving here. I would have thought it would have made some kind of comeback, but
No,
it
the
hasn't.
thing with our shopping centres as well is they price the big companies out. The big companies are like, well, not paying that. So they all go into the what they call the out of town retail parks, like Tesco's and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Hi, Johnny.
the town centre shopping centres are all like the little stores.
Just the little
What's
store?
up, Johnny?
Yeah, that's like our shopping strips over here.
Hey.
I mean, even Poundland has started closing down in the shopping centres to move to out of town.
That's why we always go to Orlando to go to the mall, because if you go to the mall in Orlando, it is busy. You'll go in there and there's thousands of people in there shopping during the daytime.
That's
like
what
I said, if you go to our mall and it's just fucking dead, there's maybe 10 stores left in there. Just not enough shopping in there.
Yeah, mind you, some of the shops on the these retail parks, I wonder how they freaking survive. You know, like DFS, you got like 2 people in a day, and they're just looking at sofas. They're not actually buying one.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah, that's
you walk past and all the staff jump on you. Do you want to buy a sofa?
it's like the mattress firm conspiracy over here.
Yeah.
Remember
No,
when I was
I've read
talking
about
that?
those.
You see,
Yeah.
there
Gone
was a
into
big,
a YouTube rabbit hole over that one.
yeah, there was a big thing over here, right? They always said there was nothing that could ever end the DFS sale, because every day it's like a new sale.
Yeah.
But you know, it always had a new sale on, but COVID killed the DFS sale. Now DFS don't have any sales.
Yeah.
Or you have that closing down sale that goes on for 9 months.
Oh no, we have closing down sales, and then you go in and you go, oh, you're closing down. When you're closing, we're not closing. We're just having a closing down sale. Oh, a bit dodgy. Or pound stretchers.
Ray, is that white people's moving? What? Did you
Yeah.
mean to say, is that why people are moving out of California? Frank, I think you missed. Is that?
Yeah,
Sounds
we've
a
got a
little weird
company
now.
over here called Pound Stretchers, and every couple of months they have the big clearance sale. Everything 50% off. You go in and everything's double the price.
Yeah,
Goes back
same
down,
here.
and then it
Pound
goes back
Stretchers
down.
closed. Hey, our Pound Stretchers closed.
Oh, they're opening up everywhere here. So say like you get the air fresheners for £1. When they have the 50% sale, they're actually £2, but the 50% off now, so you get them for £1. Wait up a goddamn freaking minute.
So we're back to where we started.
It's like Wilkinson's when they closed down. They were crafty, because we bought a tin of paint for the kitchen before they announced they were closing down, and it cost us 15 quid. And then when they had the closing down sale, it said get 70% off. You went in, they'd actually gone up by 70%, so you still paying 15 quid.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, test.
Hey,
What's up,
Dre.
Hey,
Evening,
how's everybody
Dre.
doing?
Good evening, Dre.
Good evening.
I don't have any.
Right, I'm just going to put the birds in, so excuse any
Put the
cursing
birds
at the
in where?
birds. Bed.
I thought you were gonna say the oven.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe cooking them.
No, they have to go to bed
I
now.
don't see no birds getting put nowhere.
I said, get some of that yard bird in that oven. We all right.
Yeah.
It's our bird
that
day.
worked.
When is each one of theirs birthday?
Birds day.
We don't know when their birthdays are. That was today. We celebrated today. That's because a few of the others' birthdays are today. that we do know.
Oh, you do it all on the same day?
Yeah, so we have like a bird day. This is just a day where they get lots and lots of shitty treats and do what the hell they like.
So
Now,
pretty
is-
like the
Your,
other day.
your niece still there?
Now they've gone.
Oh, I'm
No, God.
sorry, David. I know that broke you up.
It's all good.
Hey, Dre.
Yes, sir.
He looks forward to having the nieces and the nephews there.
Damn it.
And he
Yeah, I could tell by all his expressions this
Yeah,
afternoon.
he'll go through family withdrawal now.
Yeah, but we need to let it drop now before Laura comes in and kicks off.
You have
No, I was just gonna clarify what Frank was talking about, our gas tax here in California. The legislation, voted themselves to raise the gas tax, but they gathered enough signatures 4 or 5 years ago, I believe it was, to cap it. So what happened was the Secretary of State reworded the ballot initiative to make it sound like if the people voted it down, it would stop the funding for all the bridges and road repairs. Instead of saying to put a cap on the fuel tax. Well, these knuckleheads couldn't read the information on the ballot and voted to remove the tax. So we voted a 50% tax per gallon on ourselves here in California. And that's why I tell folks, you can't blame whoever is the governor or whoever else you try to blame. These were the voters. I said, when you vote yourself a tax, you can't point fingers at nobody but yourself. Because you can't read the ballot initiative.
Yeah. Too many taxes.
Yeah, like I say, California, they get you everywhere you can, man. You can't avoid it. You know, like I say, you register your cars every year. Every other year, you got to do the small test. But the fuel taxes, like I say, how many times you put fuel in your car? At least once a week, you fill it up, and not more if you're on the road a lot. You know,
Dominic.
I try to stretch mine out to every 2 weeks because I don't live far from my office. So if I don't do a lot of work doing other things, I can go that far. But like I say, a lot of times I tell people when you're upset with what your government's doing, just remember when you go in there to cast your ballot, you're the one you're the one putting these folks in office.
Exactly.
You know, they don't put themselves in office. So like I said, you got to have more high information voters instead of low information voters.
So do you get paid mileage for going out on site in your own vehicle?
From who? For the city? I have a city vehicle.
All right.
I have a truck when I do things for the city. Now, my own personal business, I go out and handle my own vehicle. And that's why next year I'm looking at trying to purchase something that's more adept to what I'm doing now, because humping these large sites or these developments is wearing on my ass.
Yeah, when I worked for the council, if I had to go out on site, I had to go in my own car, but I got paid 70 pence a mile for going.
Right, yeah. If you're usually that's the way it goes. They'll give you a mileage allowance if you're using your own personal vehicle. When we hire, as we say, contract inspectors from one of these inspector firms, that's kind of like part of their contractor's package if they're using their own vehicle, because that way the city does not have to cover insurance to cover them in case something happens, accidents, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they provide their own insurance.
Yeah, oh yeah. The city's not going to cover you if you drive your own personal vehicle. No,
Right.
they don't want to have that responsibility.
You just have to on your.
I mean, my city has paid out so much money from stupidity of elected officials and the amount of stuff we pay out and wrongful death and everything else for the police department. Dude, I would say in the last 6 months, my city has forked out over $10 million in claims. And 2 to 3 million of that is for the previous mayor for sexual harassment. And that comes out of our, general fund, that where our tax base goes into, that we're paying out people who used to work for the city. Sexual harassment against the mayor.
Bunch of pissed off secretaries, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he was a piece
Yeah.
of work. I've known the guy since he was a councilman, and I try, tell folks, he don't believe what he says, and he is quite the character. And like you say, he suckered these people in by making a open-end statement. I guess the Animal Control Center was a big issue during the election a few years back when he ran for office, and he made a statement that he said he would look into it. Well, people hear what they want to hear, and they assume because he would look into it that he was going to save the animal shelter. And when he got in office and he didn't do that, and he was trying to contract it out to another county, actually, people got all mad and say he lied. I said, no, he didn't lie. All he said was, I will look into it. That's all he said. I said, you heard what you wanted to hear.
Oh, Dre, it's like when a kid hears you say, we'll see, and they take that as a yes.
Yeah, same thing. Yep, exactly. Same thing. Yeah. And I tell people, I said, you have to be more knowledgeable about the candidates, about the initiatives that are on the ballots that you're voting for. And so, like I said, we need more high information voters than we need low information voters. Or people who just go in there and have one issue, and that's all they care about, and don't care about the other issues that are on the ballot.
So I tell the kids, I say, when I say we'll see, that's not a yes.
Yeah.
That means
That's
we'll
it.
see.
Yeah. Because they'll play the old game. Well, let's go ask mom and see what she says. Dad said he'll see. Maybe mom will say yes. We'll just get that as a double yes.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Mom, can I have? No. Dad, Mum said.
Oh, no, the first thing I ask them when they come to me and ask me, did you talk to your mom first? What'd she say?
Oh, she told us to come see you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell people all the time, I said, for whatever side you may be on, whatever your issues are, what you believe or what you want to back, I said, most of the issues that we have, no matter what state you live in here in the U.S., it all falls back on the voters themselves. Politicians don't get in office unless they're voted in. They can't put themselves in office. So like I say, when things go sour, you can't really complain, but look at yourself and ask you, what did you vote for?
Well, that's the thing is you'll hear a lot of other governors making fun of Newsom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, their people voted to keep voting them in. So
there you go.
The majority keeps voting them in. So
that's
on them at the end of the day.
Exactly, it's it. Like people talking about California is a deep blue state. I remember when California was a pretty much red state. Growing up, it was pretty much even. We might have had a Democrat governor, but a lot of the legislators were Republicans. I remember when old Pete Wilson was in office. Pete Wilson came out of San Diego, and he was very conservative. And so that was like late 70s, early 80s, and everything. And then we had Pat Brown. The Browns came in. Because Pat Brown was before Pete Wilson. Then Pete Wilson got in. There was Jerry Brown, and then you got Gray Davis. And Gray Davis was I think he was trying to triple the car registration fees, and that's why he had to get out of office. They recalled his butt over that. Outright.
And he had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's how Arnold got in. Arnold came in to replace Gray Davis. And Arnold was pretty smart. Arnold was pretty much down the middle. He was right down the middle, kind of central and stuff, with a little bit right leaning. But like I say, but back then you had a more heavy conservative legislators in the state, and they wouldn't pass anything he wanted to go through. Our
Yeah, he
wasn't bad.
Wasn't he married into the Kennedy family?
Yeah, he
which
married
is-
Marie Shriver, which
Which
she's
is
a cousin.
primarily Democrat family,
Yeah.
but it seems like they're starting to go Republican now. I don't know. That family
Yeah.
seems to be switching sides to a certain
Well,
extent.
it's next generations that are coming up in the family. I mean,
Because
yeah,
what's
remember,
his name just endorsed Donald Trump? Who was that?
dude? I wouldn't trust that dude. With
You're talking about RFK.
Yeah, RFK
Yeah,
with a potato peeler. That dude is so flaky, man. And I tell people to him, I don't think Donald Trump realized what he got his hands on now. I mean, that guy he's out there, dude. You start telling stories about you chopping off whale heads and putting dead bears in the park and all kind of other stupid stuff you do. And I mean, this guy is just way out there and stuff.
I've never really dug into him, so I don't know a lot about him.
You ain't missing much, dude. But I would stress to everybody, do your homework on this guy. Everybody tries to talk about he's a highly intelligent former environmental lawyer from years ago and stuff, but he's always been way out in left field.
Yep.
So sometimes, when you want these folks to want to get on your bandwagon,
Arnold's
political
problem was
process.
sleeping with the staff, though. What was his
Who's that?
maid,
Oh, yeah,
Arnold, when he
Arnold?
slept with the. Oh God, dude,
Yeah.
that maid was not that good looking either. I was
No.
like, what the fuck was he doing?
Yeah, well, that's goes
Like,
to show
bro,
you
all
that-
the women you could have slept with. That's who you decided to sleep with.
You gotta look at it, Justin. She's easy access. She's giving him all the attention. She's there every day.
Yeah.
Where was Maria all this time? Where is Maria? But like you say, he should have had a little more discipline in that though.
Do you guys remember the rapper Fat Man Scoop?
Yep.
Yeah, he passed away on stage.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Who
Oh,
did?
all right.
US rapper Fat Man Scoop.
I have
I
no
don't
idea who that is. Never heard of him.
He was the big guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
We'll give you the hint, Paul. The name?
Well, he died halfway through a gig.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
they just roll him off the stage or what?
Yeah. Yeah, they took, yeah, they
Scoop
took,
could have been one of two things. Either he drank a lot or he ate a lot of ice cream.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I remember growing up as a kid, and I'm sure Paul and Joe remember this when
Yeah.
Mama Cass of the Mamas and the Papas passed away. And
Yeah.
the rolling joke was always, was she eating a sandwich or something? She choked to death.
Did she choke on her sandwich?
Yeah, did she choke on her sandwich? That was always a
Choke
running
on a
joke
ham
with
and
that.
cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he died in Connecticut.
That was a big woman. Then.
Yeah. And then you had the guy, Meatloaf. I think he drank himself to death or anything.
Yeah.
God,
same
dude, the
man.
memes that came out after he died were so wrong, but so hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Demis die?
You what?
Who?
Demis Roussos.
Yeah, I think he's.
Absolutely massive Greek singer.
Oh yeah, my friend the Wind was his signature tune. I think he died many years ago.
Oh, lay down, lay down.
What was it? Forever and ever and ever and ever you'll
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
2015. He died January 2015. So it's nearly 10 years.
Oh wow. Hey Dom, Art's not going on tonight?
No Arthur tonight. No.
What happened?
I think it's probably because of the weekend, Memorial Weekend,
What's up, Joe?
Labor Day.
And
Labor
What's
Day
that got
weekend.
to do
Sorry,
with it?
my apologies.
and
I don't know. It just said no show tonight.
Yeah.
I
Poor
mean,
excuse.
yeah,
Mark.
that's what I'm saying, Joe. I mean, I mean, it's not like it's Veterans Day weekend or Memorial Day week. It's just Labor Day weekend. It's about one of the biggest fun holidays in America.
Yeah.
Not till Monday, the celebration. So what's the day? You know?
Yeah, I was saying Monday is the actual day, but everybody's headed out of town. I know Art didn't load the camper up and go out of town.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't go to the Philippines. We know that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's been asking for enough donations for that trip.
Mark, this could only happen in the UK. They were filming a film near the O2, and they did a controlled explosion on a car to make it flip, but it destroyed the car, a caravan, a whole filming set, and set fire to part of the O2 building.
Well, you gotta look at the bright side, David.
Miscontrolled.
Now the trade folks got more work to do. They got to rebuild the whole set and everything else.
Yeah, and then human resources have something that they got to go find somebody else now.
Yep.
Got to hire new people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it nearly caused Laura a heart attack because it being the O2, and we're going to the O2 in a couple of weeks.
Hey, Joe. Joe Federlito was in the house.
It's a couple of weeks.
Hey, Joe.
Have you seen all
out.
things on Facebook at the moment? I've got an appointment for the doctors. Anybody want to swap it for an Oasis ticket?
Oh yeah, I've seen all them.
Shut up, Joe.
Joe, no. Hey, Dre, Joe
Yeah.
stopped by Johnny's last week and went over there, and Joe was flying one of his little self-builts, and he was doing all FPV, all the different flips and power loops and everything around all three of our cars, right? Johnny said if it would have been him doing it, we'd have had to call Jake from State Farm.
Hey, did you crash your Vada again?
Ooh.
You, Joe.
Oh, I hit a branch. I didn't break it.
Oh, okay. I saw the post on
O2 blaze.
Facebook, and
What
I
you
said, I said again.
in tree moss.
Yeah, I hit a little branch, and it just spun around, and it went right into a big chunk of moss and hit the ground.
Oh, okay. So you're
I
good.
said,
to go,
you
then.
got to be kidding me. I pull it this. I had to put the beeper on to find it.
Oh wow.
Hey, Dominic, you see that new Starlink mini dish they brought out?
No, I haven't heard about that.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little bit bigger than a
So-
dinner plate, and it doesn't have to have the router and the modem and all that crap because it's all built in.
Okay.
You literally just plug it in and point it north, and you're good to go.
Point it north or you point it south?
No, they say to point it north. A couple videos I've watched.
Okay, I know Billy
all
Kyle.
said-
Probably
did a
be
video.
pointed
I
south
haven't
down
watched
here.
it.
It's
Depends where you
insanely
are.
small, man. It's tiny as hell.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
look like it might be
Uh,
just a little bit bigger than the
eh,
palm of your hand. Because I think I just saw the thumbnail of Billy Kyle's video talking about it, and I'm like, what's it? Something from Starlink or something? I don't understand.
No, I watched a guy literally drive down the road. He put it up in his sun visor or his
Mhm.
sunroof,
Yeah.
and then closed the lid over top of it and just ran the cable out of it, and was
Mhm.
getting 130 down and like 30 up just
Jeez.
driving down the road.
Oh,
At a
wow.
consistent speed
I mean, the
down
thing
highway.
is, it does look great, and it is portable, but it's fucking useless in Brazil.
What kind of money is it?
I don't know. Well, I haven't seen anybody actually mention the cost in a couple videos I watched, but like I said, the one guy was driving down the road and he was doing speed tests as he's going down the highway, and just was maintaining about those speeds, just
What's the
driving
name
down
of
the
it?
highway. It's a Starlink mini dish, and it's just a little bit bigger than a dinner plate. It's not very big. It's really small.
He was doing speed tests and he was getting 60 miles an hour out of it.
Hmm. I just find it odd that you pointed north when most of your satellites would orbit at the equator.
Yeah.
I don't know. The two videos I watched, they when they were doing the setup process, they both said that it told them to point it north.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
It depends where they are in the US, doesn't it?
Well, like I say, the U.S.
Both
is
these
north of the equator. That's why I said, why would you point it north when majority of the satellites
Oh,
orbit at the equator?
Oh.
I don't
Both,
think
both these
do.
guys were U.S.
Elon
based,
Musk
so I
has
don't know.
got that many flaming Starlink satellites up there. They orbit all over the bloody place.
Yeah, I'd say it must be a certain set that have a farther northern hemisphere orbit. because that would make it more difficult for people in Australia to connect if you have to point north. So these
Oh, no,
guys,
his
if these
thing
guys
is
are in
to
the
do
US.
His thing is to do a complete like dragnet around the whole globe.
Well, I know that, but I guess
Yeah, so-
somebody mentioned. I guess the country of Brazil is talking about. They already talked about banning X.
They've
in
done it.
Brazil. They've done it already. I know they're
Yeah, they've
talking
done it.
about it.
X, X has been banned and Starlink.
He must have really pissed somebody off because why he want to piss off one of Trump's biggest supporters in South America?
Yeah, what he's done. What happened was they asked Musk to ban a couple of people that were posting misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
And he said no, and they said, well, if you're going to allow misinformation on X, we're going to ban it. And then
Well, it's who decides what's
Yeah.
misinformation now.
Yeah, but the thing was, he then got into, like he did with the UK Prime Minister, he got into one of them little spats with them, and they went, well, if that's the way you see it, we'll just ban the whole freaking lot of your business. Bye.
I guess a lesson learned, huh?
He'll be back in. He'll be back in there shortly, but
That ain't gonna hurt his money at all.
I don't know. He's pissing off a lot of people around the world.
Dude, that dude could lose $1 billion and not sweat it.
Yeah, but he's pissing off a lot of people around.
Right people.
Well, that's because people are wanting him to play moderator on X. And he doesn't want to do that.
It depends on what it is. Yeah. At the moment, there are so many scammers on there. You know, you just go on any website and complain to their customer service, any company on X. I can guarantee you'll have 3 or 4 people trying to get your bank details.
Yeah.
Instantly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but that's businesses deciding to do that, though.
Yeah,
a lot
but
of businesses use Twitter as their customer.
Yeah, but
as a
that's only
customer
become
service.
about because these people can buy a wrench, right? There should be a wrench that the general public can have. You know, me, you, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
A company should have an extra one to say customer service, and they pay a little extra
Verified,
for a
yeah.
spanner, a verified company with a spanner. Customer service done.
Well, I mean, scams are issues every website deals with. It don't matter how good they try.
Yeah, but
to
he's
be
not
at
dealing with it, and it's because he changed it, yeah, and removed everybody's spanner in one go, and then made them all pay. And because anyone can pay, I could go up there and claim to be Walmart's customer service. Doesn't
but
mean
he's not even.
but I can pay
but
for a tick.
He's not technically running X anymore, though. There's another CEO running it now.
Well, the thing is this, just Justin, his name is the brand.
Oh yeah, for
So-
sure. I'm
So,
just
so
saying,
I get what David's saying, that if you're not having some type of regulatory control, you're making X become part of the dark web.
Exactly. That's exactly what
Oh,
X
for
has
sure.
become. I mean,
Well,
you will
I haven't
go-
been on it since it changed over. Because
Yeah,
I was
even
this
now-
what David's talking about was my concern, that if you're gonna pick and choose who you gonna regulate and all this kind of stuff, it's gonna turn to a free fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah. Well, you look at it now. If I go online and search Liverpool Football Club, I can guarantee there'll be a lot of porn on that Liverpool Football Club, and they've all got genuine ticks. You know, they've all paid for it.
Yeah.
Right? You report it, and they come back and say that's allowed, even if it's child porn. He just doesn't give a shit. Right? And that's the problem. He's making it open source, and then he's getting pissed off with companies and trying to sue them because they're saying they're not going to advertise on there. Well, that's a
Well,
company's
his-
choice, isn't it?
his reasoning behind making the algorithm open source was because he's trying to make it. He said, well, this was his reasoning behind it, was to make the company more transparent, unlike YouTube and Facebook and stuff that hide behind their algorithms. Because I mean, look at Facebook. Facebook is just as bad with scams. I mean, the scams going on Facebook are insane.
Facebook
I mean,
is-
90% of their ads are scam ads. Like that's where
Yeah.
Facebook's.
That's because they don't regulate the ads.
Oh, that's what I'm
I
saying.
can buy an
It's
ad
an
on
issue on
Facebook.
They don't want to regulate them.
No, they
But, I
don't,
mean,
because it
like
makes
I
them money.
said, Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's an issue that every site has.
Yeah, but
You know,
that's why
YouTube's
companies.
not as bad, but YouTube has its scams as well.
Yes, I know, but like with Facebook, companies have gone. You know what? We don't want to advertise because we don't want to get muddled in with all these scammer adverts. They haven't gone to the courts and gone sue that guy because he's not advertising with me anymore. Facebook's just had to accept it. Elon Musk is trying to sue companies for removing their advertising.
Because
Hmm.
what's funny
can't
is
do
like,
that.
well, what's funny is like Facebook, you get these like fake Chinese companies pop up that actually steal other Chinese companies' ads.
Oh yeah.
Or they're like they do with DJI drones, right? You'll see, oh, this guy wants to sell you a $2,000 drone, and because the drone industry is so evil, we're going to give it to you
Right.
for $20, and it's
Yeah,
a bunch of
there's-
DJI ads from their fucking factories.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
This is
one
why
company here
I
in
have
America
Adblocker.
that's notorious. They even steal other people's names. I think they go by Infinity Gaming or something.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinity
Honestly.
Gaming? Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's loads of Infinity
I've
gamers
heard
out
that.
there.
I've heard that, Dre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Infinity Gaming. You got to watch out for those folks. They're a bunch of scammers.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, be stealing
Yeah.
watch hours from other people and stuff, impersonating other gamers. Oh,
You
man.
live tonight, Justin?
Might go live. I don't know.
I was thinking since Art ain't going on tonight, I said I might even go live for a while.
There you go.
Why not?
I might as well.
He
Yeah,
used
it's
to go
free
live
time.
at, what, 8 o'clock, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I was getting.
He'd
I was
be
getting
on right now
frustrated
already.
last night
He'd be,
watching
yeah,
this.
he'd be on right now.
Yeah, he
Okay.
used to be on right
Yeah.
now. That's why I was asking Dominic, because Dominic didn't tiptoe out like he normally does.
Yeah. Because Art sent me a message saying
Yeah.
not live tonight.
Yeah.
Well, last night I was getting frustrated because Justin was having these live stream errors, kept cutting out, right? And then
Oh,
I
it's
was getting
pissing me off.
frustrated just watching Jason, going around carrying on his gaming and firing. When you got Tim and Justin going, pick up my card. He goes, I'll get it in a minute, and he just carried on shooting fuckers. And he's like, I'm like, someone's gonna say something in a minute. I was in stitches just listening to Justin. Because it
Hey,
was
Justin-
I had it on in the
it was
background.
always Jason that had to
Yeah.
bail them out. Yeah, which was funny because they knew all you hear is Jason and Tim and Justin going, get my card, get my card.
Because it's two different game styles. Like I tend to just run into the shit and fight.
Yeah,
Where Jason
running-
will hide out
running
on the
good.
out.
I run into
Jason will hide on the outskirts, and if shit gets crazy, he takes off and just runs.
Yeah.
He don't stay and fight. He'll just leave.
You see that comment I left on Matt's last video, Justin?
Which one? The one with
I-
the
I-
earrings?
No, he had a video showing a lot of city scenery and stuff like that. And stuff.
Nope. Amazon.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
he
it's
put
a
one
very
out
nice
about
video.
12
that
hours ago.
was his regular drone video. No, I didn't
Yeah.
look at the comments, but I
No,
watched.
there was another one
Oh,
with him
yeah,
and
I'll put
Dennis
it in.
walking through the town.
No, I got the one of him showing the landscaping and stuff. And I told him that is awesome. I said, "Did you have
Yeah.
Dennis fly it?"
Yeah, but he also put one out when him and Dennis are walking through the town.
Oh, wait till I see that one. I'm gonna get him there. I said, "How come you guys are not holding hands?"
Hi, Gray.
Hello, Miss Laura. How are you?
I'm
Said
alright.
this is awesome, Matt.
I heard you've been
Just shut up.
scamming for some headsets.
Scamming for headsets.
The word is you've been scamming for some headset.
It's not just headsets, it's controllers and a new laptop and
Yeah, I was gonna get to that too, David. I was gonna see what she was gonna say about the headset. That's just word on the street, Laura. I don't know anything directly. That's just word on the street that you've been
Well,
trying to
the
scam
computer
for
is
upgrades.
covered, the computer, Dre, is covered because David said he was going to buy her a computer.
Oh,
I'll admit, I said I will buy her a computer when Paul wires me the money.
oh, okay. Okay. Well, that means Laura, you must gonna be getting a new laptop then, because Paul is a very giving person. I know that.
Not quite as giving as David.
Oh,
But like I said, I will give her a new laptop when you wire me the money to buy it.
Well, you were on here looking up laptop prices. What are you
Hey,
talking
what it was you on bloody Team
about? It
U.
was you.
I wouldn't buy a damn computer off Temu if you gave me the
I
money.
wouldn't buy anything on Team U if you fucking paid me.
Half the damn parts in there are generic off-brand parts nobody's ever heard of. You'll go in there and it'll be like NVIDIA fucking graphics card. It's like, what the hell is that?
What did name it, Justin? NVIDIA?
No, NVIDIA.
NVIDIA?
With a B.
NVIDIA as well.
They will. There'll be like some graphics card you've never heard the name of, and it's like, what the fuck is this thing?
Oh wow!
It's not made by any of the main manufacturers that we all know of, like Gigabyte or any of those guys.
Right.
It's just some off-brand.
Earlier on, I thought we were going to get a good thunderstorm. Turns out it's a Team U thunderstorm because he fucking fizzled out.
Is that?
Oh boy!
I have the only thunderstorm that had a power cut. Just below us as well.
Well, let's tell Laura.
FedEx.
Let's tell Laura that keep up the good work. The word is out.
What good word? What word?
Be persistent.
Oh, it ain't happening. You see, if Paul gives me the money, I'll go and buy it. But then Paul has to source it from somewhere else. So, as it was Justin's idea, I think Paul and Justin should have a chat. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Joe could do a sponsored silence to raise some money for her because Laura's always telling her to shut up. Yeah. Mark's going to do a sponsored humming session. Dominic's doing a 24-hour panathon.
I'll do a sponsored.
Oh man!
Oh, by the way, Dre, Laura hasn't got a drone no more.
What happened?
Because of the weather. Because of the weather being bad and all that, every time she got the drone, she decided she was going to sell it and treat the nieces to a day out. So she sold it and bought them all tickets to the theme park. It absolutely pissed it down all day.
And all she needed to do was charge the drone battery for that.
Yeah.
When he said that, I'm thinking you couldn't buy them. What was the old video game, PC game? Was it Amusement Park Tycoon or something like that? They could
something like that.
Roller Coaster Tycoon and
Roller Coaster Tycoon. Help you drone. Tell them, hey.
We still play them every now and again.
Like I said, play the game. You have fun, and then you created it, and guess what? It'll be here when you come back in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
The only thing about Roller Coaster Tycoon is it pisses me off. You spend freaking hours building that roller coaster, you get it to work, and then no one uses it because apparently it's too intense.
Got it.
Well, that was the whole strategy of the game, was to build something. In other words, you had to use your brain to build something that's viable, not because it had to be extreme. Just like with the old Sim City stuff, you had to build something that makes it grow.
What's wrong with a roller coaster that climbs 400 feet up into the air, right, and then drops vertically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and nobody's going to ride it because it's too intense. It's too much on the edge.
You don't have to like it because they're getting off it anyway.
No, but the thing is here, when you open a amusement park, what is the whole purpose of? To generate money.
Oh, not when you know the money cheats. No.
As I said, it's one of the best games I could have ever bought my kids, from my oldest, who is now Justin's age, to my youngest, who's 24, and they will play that thing for hours. Building that park up from nothing to a thriving park, learning about the concessions and all this kind of stuff and everything. Like I say, it's a game that involves a lot of the strategic and economic thinking part of your brain.
Yeah. Laura plays this other one called Theme Park Hospital.
Theme Hospital.
Theme Hospital, right?
Theme
Hospital. And it's bloody annoying because I'll be falling asleep and she's on a computer, and then all of a sudden you'll just hear the administrator is cheating as she's putting in the cheating codes.
Oh,
And there was that other one, Supermarket Simulator. Oh my
Oh
god,
yeah. I've
that
played
died.
that.
Yeah, that died, didn't it?
No, I play that now and again.
I'll stick to my Euro trucks.
Yeah.
Fortnite stream tomorrow.
Yeah, I bought those games. It was the roller coaster tycoon. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
Yeah.
There was a
I
couple.
remember that game show.
Art Beyond, where
Yeah.
you can actually make weird rides where.
And then you had Cityscape, I think it was called.
It's Sim City.
Oh, City,
Yeah,
the
SimCity.
Cityscape as well. Yeah, City Skylines.
Oh, I've got City Skylines.
That was the other one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
used
I
to
bought
piss
those
me
for
off
my
as well.
kids.
You spend hours building the city, and then a freaking tornado comes through and wipes it all out. You're like, ah,
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have the good one that had Godzilla that comes through.
Yeah.
oh, I've had that. Godzilla, earthquakes, you name it.
Yeah, yeah. Right when you was about to say, I done it, I got it going, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
You hear that sound. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's like that. Look at my
Da, da,
city.
da.
It's great. It's great. Look, my football venue's got 50 million people in there. Meteorite hits it. Ah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Bring back Lemmings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one for a minute.
And that was an enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to have to get them all to the other side. If you made a mistake, they all just went off the edge.
Yeah. I guess Lemming was the precursor to, I would say, Angry Birds.
Yeah. That's what I'd feel.
Yeah.
Although they've killed Angry Birds now. Too many bloody adverts and too many different things. And it's like, you fire a bird and it comes back at you. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. You had Angry Birds and you had the, I think the ones with the pigs.
Yeah.
Well, Angry Birds has become almost pay to play now.
Yeah, most games.
I didn't know it still existed.
University.
Yeah.
Football.
I'll tell you what is pissing me off as well. All the adverts for games that apparently will give you money to play them. Yeah, right. Well, you know that.
Yeah, I made $1,000 a week by playing this game.
Yeah, sure you did. And then you go and read. It comes up. It says it's got 5-star reviews. You go and read the reviews. It's like, I was getting a penny a day. I was.
Yeah, like the ones that will tell you to do certain things to get like you can earn gift cards and stuff, but it will take you like 6 months to earn a $5 gift card.
Yeah, a bit like Microsoft Rewards.
You gotta put 12 hours in a day for 6
earn
months.
I don't know about that. I think I only played World of Tanks. Those,
World
online
of
games.
Tanks. Rage. What is it? Shadow Rage Legends or something like that.
Yeah,
That's-
there's
Oh,
another
that was the
one.
one all the
YouTube
YouTubers are
channel.
promoting.
Yeah, and I think there's another one that something to do with like Empires type game where you had to start off on a little island, you built your farms and everything else, and then you could go attack other people or other places you thought were empty, and you got to take over somebody else's island.
How much were they?
150.
There weren't that many in it.
So I got a fight gonna be brewing with Home Depot and FedEx. FedEx delivered a package on today, but they did not deliver it to me. It's somewhere in this complex. It's got a picture of the door and the mat. It's not my mat, not my door.
Did you go around
know
and
where
look
they-
to see if you could find the mat?
Yeah, I've looked around. I can't find it. There's 220 apartments. I haven't found it.
Yeah.
Probably got picked up.
Yeah, the person.
Probably got
that-
picked up and brought inside. They could have
Yeah.
brought it to me.
Yeah, but the person whose mat it were probably took the mat in.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
'cause
thinking that
you're right.
they may actually turn into whatever your complex office.
Yeah,
or
I'm thinking that's gonna
manager.
happen Tuesday, maybe.
something like that.
Well, if they,
I
if
mean,
they were a
I would
decent
go ahead and
parcel.
contact FedEx and say, hey, you guys,
I did already.
misdelivered. Yeah, misdelivered that crap.
That's what I did already put that in.
Yeah.
Because the other day I had pictures coming in and it said it was delivered. I went outside, no pictures.
Mhm.
They dropped it off at the office by the door with about 10 other packages. And the office
Wow.
says, we don't take packages.
Wow.
They just dropped it off.
Hmm.
So
Jesus.
somebody, this can't keep happening.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lazy FedEx driver.
Yeah.
Well, it was UPS the other day. It's FedEx today.
Yeah.
All right, Javin.
I tell you, Joe, you just got a bunch of Justins down there.
Oh, whatever.
Uh,
Yeah, a bunch of Justins down there. Just want to half-ass the job.
I double checked my address. The address was right.
Yeah, but
I was
like I
thinking
say,
maybe
they don't want to go hunt for the actual apartment. They say I just drop it here at the main office and just go on about my business.
Yeah, I went over to the main office. It's not there. It's definitely on the second floor or third floor because of the way it looks. And I've
Right.
gone around 3 buildings and looked and can't find it.
Yeah,
But I'm not walking this whole complex.
yeah, I agree. I said it's not your responsibility to do that. I mean,
Well, it could be somebody that's not home yet. When they get home, see it, they'll walk it over to me.
yeah,
or turn it in.
that's what you hope for.
Well, yeah. It won't be any good to them. It's an air inflator for your car
Mm-hmm.
without the charger.
Oh boy.
Because I got the battery and the charger here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they done got all excited and took it in their apartment thinking they just got a PS5 or something.
No, it says it got a battery on it, and it says Ryobi inflator. So,
yeah, we had a guy that actually had a PS5 box, and he filled it with all these trash, all these crushed cans and everything, and then left it outside on his doorstep. Somebody came and took it. But they were pissed when they opened it.
What you do is you do it as a PS5 box, and then you put the cat litter in there.
Yeah.
Out there.
But put the cat litter in the bag.
Like why is this PS5 weigh 50 pounds? What the fuck?
Yeah, but you've got to put the cat litter in a bag and tape the bag to the box inside. So when they pull the polystyrene out, it lifts the bag, but also rips the bag.
it'd be like set it up like the youngest daughter on Last Man Standing when they were trying to figure out who was reading the book, and she set up a little IED inside the thing. And Laramie went off on him, and he's standing there with blue all over him, and he says, "I've been to Afghanistan twice and survived that, and I come out here to pick up a book. Not cool. Not cool."
Oh man.
Yeah, that was funny. Not cool.
So Johnny and Ron Brown gonna do their DJI Nano show on next week.
Neil,
probably.
They're planning on it.
Neil.
Neil.
They haven't missed a release yet.
Yeah,
So
Friday.
they're already scheduling Neo shows, huh?
Yeah. That's why I was laughing at them. Was that Friday morning or Thursday morning? I said, "What's going on here? This live stream shenanigans." I said, "Y'all having a Neo 5 pre-show?" That's what I was teasing. That's what I was teasing. I said, "Don't come out to the 5th or the 9th or something." They say, "Oh, no, we just got bored." Yeah,
Take
I'm
some
like,
Neo fights.
Anyway, having the baby shower, the Neo shower.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all just can't wait. Can't wait to dip in that bank account. Get that credit card out. Spin up that retirement check.
Yeah.
You've got to do a stream that says, "When will Neo come out of the Matrix?"
Really? I just laugh at some of the folks that I said, for the amount of money you guys have spent on these smaller drones. I mean, they got the Vadas 1 and 2, minis, 1, 2, 3, 4, going on 5. Now you got the Neo.
Of coming.
I said, you guys could have bought yourself an Inspire 3.
Well, and the return that some of these people are getting on their YouTube channels is garbage for what they're spending. It's not like they're making 100,000 a year reviewing a few drones.
Well, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that these, people always get round up about these new drone releases. Just like I was asking Ron the other day about how he felt about the new Hover, the X1 Pro and Pro
Yeah,
Max.
Hover X1 Pro.
Yeah, he was like, here and there, but I would not be surprised if he don't get his hands on one sooner or later. Just to try it out. Just to try it
It'll
out.
work something out.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you the hovers, you're not gonna see me with a hover.
Later, Jim.
I'm not getting either one of those.
Yeah. Now I looked at when I saw the price.
Did you?
I guess it was that special 48-hour price. I said that wasn't a bad deal for $399 for the regular X1 Pro. I said I might get that for my grandson, something like that, But like me, I said I could wait. I'm sure because I looked at the price of the original Hover, it's still at $399. So I said something's got to change. I said that if this X1 Pro is going to be $399 or $499, that means the original one's got to drop down about $299 or $199.
I was like, look how much cheaper the Avata 2 was to the Avata 1.
Yeah.
That was almost double the price.
That one that came out from Instagram that Justine did a what's it off, a review of, and nobody's heard of it since.
Yeah.
What was that?
The Hover one, the selfie.
Snapchat.
Brought out.
Yeah, it was a little selfie drone.
Yeah, the original one, the X1 selfie drone, came out last year sometime. Now
there was another one that it was something to do with Snapchat or something like that.
Oh, it might have been
Yeah, it was
making
a drone.
one.
I think it was actually designed by Instagram. They were selling it as an Instagram branded drone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody made a knockoff one. Get all the folks on Instagram hooked on it. Because that's all these drones are for. Is for.
No, it was actually for the Hover. It was one of it was like that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. They made a knockoff version of it, and they thought they were going to sell it to all their subscribers that use Instagram. Because I'm thinking that all these hovercrafts do film in the vertical mode, if I'm not mistaken. So those who like to up their Instagram and Facebook and whatever else game.
It was this one here.
They're all social media ones, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you mean, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the Air Neo Pocket. It's really tiny.
Oh, okay.
It's like a flying camera.
Yeah, 149. That might be let's do scroll up, Justin. I should say scroll down, yeah. What's that 135, the cage? That's $13. That's real cheap.
Yeah, these are probably little Temu knockoffs.
I would even buy that for my grandkids. Yeah, but that Hover X1 series is something I might, give the grandkids something for Christmas.
Are they interested in the drones, or?
That's why I said I give them something for Christmas, something they can kind of see where they're at, And
not spend a lot of money.
Right.
That'll tell you whether they're flying it or not,
Right. I mean, I still got my Spark sitting over here and everything. I've been tempted to think about giving that to him. I said, no, let me wait until see what I got. One grandson, I got 3 granddaughters, 2 grandsons and 3 granddaughters. And I said, I'll just, see who picks up the mantle. And I have one granddaughter, she's interested in photography stuff. I gave her my old Rebel camera. It was a Rebel XT camera.
Yeah.
I gave her that last year because I no longer use it. And I gave her a couple of GoPros. So the old GoPro 4s I had laying around, I wasn't using anymore. I gave her about 2 of those with the gimbals, with the homing gimbals to use. And I gave her one of the pocket gimbal ones that shoots 4K because I wasn't using. I already bought the Pocket 3 and I got a Pocket 2 and a couple of the Fimi Palms here. So I got like 4 of those sitting around here. I'm like, hey, you go ahead and take these, and because she's taking a class at her high school before she graduated last year, that they are doing multimedia stuff. So I just
sounds like she has a better collection of cameras than probably most of the students do.
Well, like I say, she told me about the things that we're doing, so I said, well, here you go. I'm giving you all these tools, and I want to see what you do with it. Because usually now in high schools, I know here in California, the students, part of their senior project is to do a multimedia portfolio as part of their senior project. So basically they're creating a video of themselves of their senior year.
Yeah, you're supposed to dissolve them in water.
So
Fascinating.
that's what I'm
Does she
saying.
want to go to college for that or what?
She's on a gap year this year. She wanted to take a year off, which was very controversial within the family. But we all, I mean, my wife and I understand it. We both felt if that was something we had an option to do when we came up, that probably would have been a better thing. And we realized that as, our kids, that some kids are just not ready to go straight from high school to college. And a lot of it has to depend upon they need to really be focused on what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I mean, it's one thing to go because everybody tells you to go, but when you have your own desire, your own passion, then you're going to really put forth the effort. Just going because everybody else tells you to go, you're not really putting your heart into it. And then it becomes a waste of money situation.
Do universities look at that though? Like when you fill out applications, do they look as taking a year off a bad thing?
No, it's like I say, it could be a variety of reasons. It could be a simple fact that your family just didn't have the money to go, and you had to work a year or just whatever the case might have been.
Yeah.
Where you
a lot of universities over here let you take a year gap. They call it a gap year.
Yeah, a gap year. That's what they call a gap year.
But normally you take a gap year to go patrol in Europe or America or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Some folks use the opportunity to go travel or something like that.
But going back to the kids thing, Laura just showed me an article. They used to get these sweets called Lucozade sweets, and they banned them because they were so sugary and so powerful, right? And kids were just munching them and going on a hypo, so they completely banned them. Yeah. Now the company's just come out and said it's not our fault. Yeah, that people didn't read the packaging where it says dissolve in water. So kids have been just eating these tablets that are supposed to put in water and make it into a Lucozade. Yeah. We're just eating the whole sweet. Yeah? But because they look like little packets of Chewies, people were eating the whole packet in one go.
Oh, wow. So like I say, Dominic, I'm hoping one of my grandchildren will pick up on, I don't care if it's photography, video editing or actual drones itself. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I have a bunch of equipment here that can aid them to a certain extent. So they won't be starting from ground zero as far as accumulating equipment. Just like, Joe could probably hand down some really nice cameras to his grandkids when they get to a certain age that would still be viable, so to speak. So that's all I'm doing is try and give them a chance to, see who's really interested in it and, help them out a little bit.
I'm honestly curious to see where the whole photography business goes with all this fucking AI now. Like, because I know companies are always going to take the cheapest route, and I feel like it's going to screw a lot of photographers over in the long run.
Like anything else, anything that can be automated can be used for good and for bad. It's just a matter of who's in control of it. But like I say, AI still requires input of some sorts. Either you got to feed
Yeah.
it information or you got to tell it what you want. One or the other.
Well, I think
Someone has to
the more-
program it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the more advanced it gets, the less you're going to have to be as detailed with that information now.
Right. Right. But still, it has to get to that.
I am-
It has to get to that
I'm
point.
going to be honest. I am not convinced on that, Justin, because AI today is 10 times worse than it was when it first came out. You ask it to say, give me a crowd of people waving England flags, and it'll give you a crowd of people, and a lot of them will be England flags, but you just see the one USA flag in the background. It's like, why? Just why?
But that's realistic to life.
It knows who its creator is.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be realistic unless there was about 52 different races in that crowd.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, I think it's going to get to a point where it's going to be. Well, and then those jobs of somebody putting in for a company is going to be a lot slimmer too, because one person can do a lot on their
Right.
own.
Right. So I always look at the point that eventually, whoever that one person is has to be a very creative minded person. I know for me, my biggest limitation is that I don't have that creative natural ability within me. I'm very linear. I'm a point A to point B person. So I give, tip of the cap to those who have that natural creative thought process, or we call the abstract thought process.
Yeah.
Where they can see something and take it and create something else with it. I'm the type of person, I look at a puzzle and say, what the hell? Where's the directions at?
Yeah.
And my wife is like, she can spend hours, days just putting the puzzle together. She does it on a laptop. She does it with regular puzzles on the table, especially during the holidays, and she'll sit there. I don't have the patience for that. I'm just like, come on, give me directions.
I've just asked AI to do a picture of lightning hitting Blackpool Tower. Let's see what it comes back with. All right, prove me wrong, you fucker. They're not bad pictures, actually, in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's come
Although-
up pretty well.
Yeah, I've got to ask, when did Blackpool get a new season promenade down the other side?
Yeah.
Number 4, the best.
Well, they're gonna probably call that picture there looks like more like a reflection type picture. Reflection of one side to the other. At least on the ground it does. The lightning looks, authentic, but you look at the two sides, like it might be a reflection off the water below.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to get that on Blackpool there. That one's not too bad, but again, you wouldn't get the reflection because the sea wall would block all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tower's not actually on an island like that is. It doesn't stick out. It's actually further back.
Right.
But
so that's what I'm saying, that AI can do so much based upon what you're feeding it. But like I said, you're going to still need some type of human interaction. I mean, you have to go back and say, okay, eliminate blah, 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 blah. The island sticking out, eliminate the reflection off the water, eliminate this and that. And then it keeps creating until you're satisfied on what it produced.
Well, and really AI is only going to be limited by the laws they end up putting in place at some point on it.
Yeah.
Which they have not done yet, which is kind of scary.
Well, the biggest thing is, I think, as far as the laws, it's just protecting the rights of the actual artists. Just like here in California, they're talking about Newsom just signed a bill about protecting voiceover actors, against AI. So they have to get permission to use people's voices through AI, and that means they got to pay royalties. So that's one of the laws that you're going to see. I don't think there's going to be a law for AI not to do stuff itself, but it's going to be laws that protect the actors or whoever else they're trying to replicate with AI.
You see, now, this is what I was trying to say. So I've asked it to do lightning hitting the Preston North End badge.
Mhm.
And it came up with that.
Yeah, but the reason why it's doing that is because it knows it's a copyrighted thing.
But
They've-
at the same time, it's not really good. Microsoft Bing designer isn't really good with typography.
Yeah, but
That's
they've also
counsel.
ChatGPT has also come out and said that if the AI feels like it's a copyrighted thing, it's going to purposely fuck it up because
Oh.
they don't want to be held liable for you making
Yeah,
copyrighted.
but the problem is the Preston North End badge is not copyrighted because it's the Lamb of Preston.
But
The
it
Lamb
might
of
not know
Preston
that,
is
though.
over. Well, it's older than me. I mean, come on, this is just ridiculous now. I asked it to do lightning hitting the Lamb of Preston. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a lamb.
Yeah,
It's a lamb.
Lightning hit the lamb.
It's a
Maybe it
lamb.
thought maybe it thought the lamb's name was Preston.
Yeah.
Like I said, it gave you what you asked for.
A burnt lamb.
Yeah.
That's why I said all about the input is going to be essential.
It's got a long way to go.
Yeah. As I said, it's the typography that seems to be the main issue with that one. The only one I noticed was ideogram, but the trouble is they just keep taking stuff away from it and putting it behind the paywall.
Now, David, if you don't mind, let me know how much does GP chat or whatever you're using use? How much does it cost you?
It's free. It's Bing one.
Oh, it's free.
You get 50. Well, I don't know what
You
you
get
need
15
there.
credits a day.
Yeah, that's what we get over here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I
asked
haven't
it
even fooled with it.
Oh, now this I like. So I asked it to do a cockatiel flying through lightning.
Roast
I
chicken.
thought it'd just be a few feathers.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Don't know what the hell it was doing there.
Well, that's what
Exactly.
I said. I thought it'd just be a couple feathers less after the lightning hit.
No, I like them pictures. On this occasion, Bing, I like them. Thanks.
Yeah, it seems to work sometimes.
Well,
Like I
I
It's
said,
not very simple.
I still think it's about how much information, because you can say, whatever bird that is, finch, cockatiel, whatever, and you can put the word angry in there. I want an angry bird. Okay, so now you're going to ask for more detail. Now, what spits out is it going to be a bird with a more of a intense eye look, or is it going to automatically put some teeth in the beak?
I'll tell you what else has started pissing me off. It's saving it as a JFTF file.
Yeah.
JPG. Why? Nothing uses JF. Fucking whatever. I'm now going to go in there, open it in Paint, convert it, just to be able to use it.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry you have to take one extra step.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a few more extra steps actually, but
Yeah. Well, like Justin's talking about, if it didn't need you to do that, it didn't need you to do anything at all.
yeah. The other thing that a lot of companies have started doing as well is adding clicks for no reason. Just put that in.
Yeah,
right?
but my question is that now you lost my train of thought. Let me think if I can recall it now. Okay, now if how you typed in or whatever, could you type in JPEG format? JPEG format will allow you to do that.
No.
The couple of AIs that I tried, it wouldn't do specific sizes of pictures and it wouldn't change the format of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all like that, but the couple I tried.
I'm just saying, if you don't, it probably, that might be its native format. So I'm saying you put in PNG, JPEG, TIFF.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for most of the services, you've got to pay for that stuff.
Yeah, that could be the thing. It could be the next tier level. where you
Especially
have to pay
with things
for it.
like Leonardo, you can actually do that, but you've got to pay a monthly subscription for it.
There you go. Because I'm sure
Yeah,
that would be the answer to that. That's how they get your money.
Mm.
Yeah,
There
I
you
wouldn't be paying a monthly on an AI unless I was really
Yeah.
using.
Check
the
that
shit
out
of
for
it.
a background.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. But that's a cool thing about AI too, is you can have it spit you out. You know, you can say, make me a logo for this or this, and it'll spit you out 100 different damn pictures.
Mm.
Now, now I just need to do a picture of Rio in the middle there.
And sometimes it does
Holding a battery.
Then the problem you run into sometimes is it does such a good job on a bunch of them, you can't decide which one you want to use.
Yeah, been there, done that. You know, you narrow it down to like 4 or 5 of them and go, which one do you want? It's almost like A/B testing.
Me and Mother Nature are going to have a fight in a minute.
Yeah, AI is going to be, I'm just surprised they really have not put any kind of regulations in for it.
Yeah.
Because even like Joe Rogan was talking exactly what Dre was talking about. Joe Rogan talked about that, about how his daughter contacted him one day and said, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing an ad for this company." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And what they did was they literally ripped Joe Rogan's voice and put it over the ad and made it sound like he was from one of his podcasts.
Right.
Yeah, that I think is just rude, and just
Well,
no.
I think it's downright theft at that point, because you're
that's what it is.
Somebody else to promote it.
Because as a performer, your voice is part of your tool.
Yeah, it's your copyright.
Right.
It's your
That's the
material.
thing. That is your voice. I mean, like you
your
say, you have
likeness.
your like your likeness. Your voice is just a part of your likeness. Like you said, there are certain actors that have such a distinctive voice.
Yes.
You know it when you hear it.
Yeah, and so it's been an issue with a lot of famous people.
Yeah, I know
there's
they've
been scam ads with Mr. Beast over it. There's been ones with Elon. I mean, there's been a lot of famous people that have.
Well, you
gotten
see
their
them all the
voices over.
time on.
Yeah, there's a
on
lot of
Facebook.
deep fake, isn't there, going around as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know you get a lot of those little quick shorts that have voiceovers with Denzel Washington on there, and unless you're paying attention and watching the lips, that's when you catch it where the lip movement is not matching what's being said.
You see,
but the voice is almost dead on.
but when it comes to Denzel Washington, I can just ask my brother to do it because he's an idiot and changed his name to Denzel Washington. I mean, seriously, he did, right?
Oh,
I was at
man.
my mum's one night when the phone rang and it went, "Would you accept the reverse charges from Denzel Washington?" And then the woman on the other end just pissed her sides laughing. She just couldn't stop. Her mum mum knew who it was. And your mum was trying to say, yeah, but the woman just couldn't stop laughing. They just had to give up.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, but I see that a lot, even ones with Elon Musk and stuff. There'll be his picture come up on some short, and you'll hear his voice speaking about some philosophical, belief or whatever, and then you realize his lips are not matching them with what's being said.
Or it'll be about crypto too. That's one I see a lot.
Yeah, it's usually some crypto scam.
Oh, there's lots of crypto scams going around.
Right.
I mean, we've got this guy, I thought his freaking name is now, from the Money Supermarket. It's a Jewish guy, but he does a lot of, telling people how not to fall for scams, how to save money and all sorts. Martin Lewis, his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many deep fakes and scams with him in it. Martin Lewis recommends you buy this washing machine to save you money. And it's a £5,000 washing machine. Yeah, because Martin Lewis would tell you to buy that one. He won't tell you to go buy that cheaper one over there. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Where did Paul sneak off to?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I think it's getting a bit late for some and early for some.
He's going to get his Boston creams.
Want to get some Boston creams.
Yeah, I get a little long in the tooth here, huh? Dominic.
Oh, it's getting in the morning.
There
And
you
I
go.
need to go to the shops.
And he come back with either ice cream or Boston cream.
It's 1:05 in the morning here.
No, it's not. It's 6 minutes past.
There he is.
I'm back.
Where's your Boston creams?
No, I had to use the little boys' room.
Okay, we were all betting that you were going to come back with either ice cream or Boston cream.
No. What are
Well-
you guys getting tired of being on here or what?
No, I just didn't. Because we all had this bet, I didn't make any money to buy Laura that laptop. It's just disgraceful.
Well, David, you might just have to prostitute yourself.
What you mean?
I might make killing.
You mean you bet on Preston to beat Oxford?
I wouldn't, but I don't bet on Preston. I don't gamble, to be honest. Apart from the odd scratch card.
Yeah,
But
there's always
that's a bit
scratch
like
card.
Penny in Big Bang Theory when she says she's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
But apart from the odd steak, I love steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, part-time vegetarian.
Well, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out.
Yeah, I'm jumping
Yeah, I
off
think it's
too. I'll
getting
catch
about
y'all
that
later.
time.
Yeah, we got David
I think
called.
it's time.
Later.
Yeah, I'll call it.
You're going
Who's
to call
calling?
it, David?
I'll call it tonight.
Okay.
David's calling.
David's
Shut up,
calling.
Joe.
Okay, everybody.
Shut up,
Hey, have a
Nora.
great evening.
Can we just say bye, Justin? Nice of you to say goodbye there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin. Oh, because he's going over to play Fortnite. Okay.
He just goes. He doesn't say goodbye anymore.
I know.
He said, I'm going to jump off. And when
Didn't hear him because everyone else was talking. He should
Exactly.
wait for his turn.
So
Okay,
Justin's
everybody,
being
hey,
like,
thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again tomorrow.
Yeah, catch you all later, guys.
Shut up, Joe.
Bye-bye.